Welcome back to Total Party Kill. I'm Tony Sindelar, a Dungeon Master. Today is an auspicious day, an exciting day for the day on which we start a new mini-adventure. We are starting another adventure from Slyfroyer's wonderful collection of adventures known simply as Fantastic Adventures, a set of adventures you could buy. I totally recommend these if you, say, want to play some Dungeons and Dragons with your family, or maybe some friends over a system like Roll20. They have put a lovely set of adventures together, and the adventure we are playing today, that we are starting today, is called The Crash Palace. And to play The Crash Palace, I have assembled a returning group of Total Party Kill mini-adventure players. Honestly, this is the best set of players that was available at this time.
Checks out.
Joining us, I will introduce them in an order that I am determining as I go. Not technically an order. I will attempt to make sure that I introduce everyone and don't introduce anyone twice. Let me start by introducing Erica Ensign. Erica, welcome back to Total Party Kill.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here for my second mini adventure. I am continuing to play the same character as last time. I am Reid-Quarrell Kilgarriff, a very, very tall human with this great big black cloak. You can barely even see her face. She's carrying a giant halberd. Looks a little bit like a sickle. She's super, super goth and is a cleric to Kelimvor, the comforting god of death. She's super, super into like grave sites and stuff. So yeah.
We all knew someone like that in high school, if we were not that person.
No comment.
Yeah. Next up, it's Kathy Campbell. Hi, Kathy.
Hello, I am playing Thamia. She is a Goliath fighter who just received a brand new, very fancy skull tattoo that's going to hopefully have some exciting properties in future battles.
A magic skull tattoo.
Yes.
Very exciting. Next up, it is an author, a podcaster, and a Dan. It's Dan Morin.
Hello. It's good to be back here in White Sparrow. I can't wait to find out about this hand. I am playing Quewaris, a bard. A bard who is happy to be here on another adventure and has acquired a very fancy deck of cards.
Ooh. Quewaris the Bard, or as established in the very first adventure he appeared in many weeks, if not months ago, Q to his friends. No one ever calls him Q.
I call him Q.
Yeah.
Is that true? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone else does.
We're the best friends.
I don't.
All right. Speaking of friends, next up is Aline Sims. Hi, Aline.
Hi, I play Lee, the Erigenasi monk. Little unsteady on her feet, but she gets the job done.
Yeah. Can't do much better than that. And last but certainly not least, another friend from far to the north. It is Annette Wierstra. Hi, Annette. Welcome back.
Hello, I'm playing Chomasa again, Red Dragonborn Ranger, who bought a cloak of protection over the last little stint of resting. So now I have a whole extra armor class point.
Exciting. So yes, some of our
really tough now.
Yeah, some of our mini-adventure characters have been hanging around for a while. Some of them have leveled up. Some of them have accrued enough money to go off and go on various expeditions to find some nice magic items to help them out. But this may be the last adventure for some characters because, you know, the mini-adventures, they're mini-adventures for mini-characters. You can you start at level 2, you can get to level 3. Level 4 is the ceiling, people. When you hit level 4, it's time to graduate, go off to bigger and better things and make room for other characters to rotate in. So
what if I just get held back a level? This
is senior year for some people. You have to go off to...
I hate to repeat the third level, so...
Adventure college. Yeah. And, you know, this may be the last adventure for some of these characters. Will it be the last adventure because they will become an amazing level 4 adventurer who'll go off into the greater world and not concern themselves with the goings on of White Sparrow and why is there a hand? Or will it be the last adventure because they'll die? Dun, dun, dun.
If they do die, it's completely natural. And
it's completely natural.
It would be from natural occurrences, like, getting stabbed.
I mean, dying in battle is really the best way to go. So if that happens, you can be assured that Reid-Quarrell Kilgarriff will attend to your body and, do all of the correct and appropriate rites to set your soul to rest. I give you that promise. As a cleric of Kellenborg.
That's the Reid-Quarrell guarantee.
I'm very excited that if I am to die, I am surrounded by appropriate friends and, someone who worships.
A professional.
Yes, a professional.
Someone who
as opposed to the unprofessionals that I almost died with earlier.
Me, yeah.
You're all just you're having a drink in the Ever Shady Tavern in White Sparrow, talking about your adventures, the good times, and you just get that sense that Reid-Quarrell has already taken all of your measurements and knows what size coffin is necessary. So,
halfway through each of our obituaries.
Perhaps, I've got your tombstones sort of laid out, the shape, the size, the font.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How many death's heads you want? How many cherubs? Yeah, you're just you're ready to go. And so you're a nice scenic midday beverage is interrupted at the Ever Shady Tavern, as seems to happen at the start of many an adventure here in White Sparrow, from a cry from it sounds like a human screaming out in terror from not too far outside.
Must be Tavern. Sunday.
Oh, look at that. Shall we find out what happened?
Yes.
If we went running off every time somebody outside was screaming in terror, we would never finish our drinks.
It's true, but so let's take our drinks with us.
Now, I like the way you think, Thamia.
Yes, now that we have reached beyond the halfway point in the mini adventures, the Ever Shady Tavern has been outfitted with to-go cups for all.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So you stream out into the street outside the Ever Shady Tavern as several peasants and farmers try and squeeze past you, taking cover inside the tavern, because there is a strange scene happening on this otherwise serene midday here in White Sparrow. There is a very strange-looking man kind of staggering down the street here in front of the shops and the markets. He is extremely pale looking, and in fact seems to have kind of wings, but he is badly injured. I'm going to share an image with our players, and they will describe it to our listeners.
Oh.
First
of all,
it's an angel.
Ripped.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very handsome.
Yes.
So a strange creature staggering down the street. He has a huge, feathered, massive wings. He's very muscular looking, very pale. His eyes kind of strange. His wings both look badly damaged. He seems to have several wounds. And flapping around in the air around him are three creatures. They kind of look, I'm just going to say impish. Is that fair?
Sure.
And that they might literally be made out of fire.
Now, the last time Chomasa and I ran into an angel, it turned out to not be an angel. It was actually a demon.
Yes.
But it was a pretty friendly demon, so I'm still all for helping this fellow out regardless.
Mm-hmm. So I've put you on the map. As a reminder, the White Sparrow town map is, theater of the mind. It's not to scale. So you see there's a creature with wings here, not doing so great, and three little flappy fire creatures chasing after him. I'm going to suggest that you roll initiative, because I am rolling initiative for the bad guys. So you always have a choice. You don't have to roll initiative. All right, so all of you have rolled initiative. Our winged creatures, one of them somewhat angelic looking, three of them very fiery looking, have rolled initiative as well. The order is Chomasa, Lee, Reid-Quarrell, Thamia, the solitary damaged winged creature, Quewaris, a bard, and bringing up the rear, the three flappy fire creatures. Chomasa, you are first.
Okay, so these winged creatures are like in the air too far for my short sword, I'm assuming.
They're actually they're kind of, it seems like they're trying to harass this they're pursuing and fighting this this winged creature that's badly injured. I need to come up with better words than winged creatures. There is a winged creature fighting a winged creature, people. Who's on first? And that creature, so the somewhat angelic looking creature is badly injured and not flying. So they're flapping around at that creature. So I would say that they're fair game for somebody on the ground with a short sword.
Okay, then I am like running up right beside this winged creature, and I am going to wing one of my swipe.
I've gotten to your head.
I'm gonna yes. I'm
Everything
gonna
is winged
swipe
now.
one of those winged creatures with one of my short swords, and I rolled a 6.
All right, the creature kind of bats out of the direction and like looks at you with fiery eyes and goes.
It's salacious creepy.
He makes the fiery creature makes a rude gesture with his fiery little arms.
Whoa.
I make a rude gesture back.
All right.
And I get out my other short sword, and I roll a 10. With much enthusiasm.
Do you get to add anything to that?
That was adding things to it. I might need some new dice.
Oh my gosh, Chomasa is just figuring out the low end of the armor class for us, so that we know our
tactics.
goal.
He's better
It's
than a
true.
10.
Battle tactics.
That's good. Don't want to use those good rolls right away. I get it. Save
Right.
Lee, you're next up.
Okay, so Lee, I'm gonna run to the grounded winged creature and try to. I think I'm gonna try to help it walk, like try to put an arm under it and get it out of the way until we can figure out what's happening.
Okay. Do you want to? I'll just so you've run down the kind of the main street of White Sparrow here. There's the kind of known safety of the tavern, which you could walk it back toward. But there are also probably some shops and homes that might be a little bit closer that the creature is right in front of. So
I think I want to duck into the nearest.
All right. There's a pottery shop next door. So if you want, you and the winged creature the winged creature kind of stumbles, leaning against you, and you make it to the porch of the pottery shop.
I was gonna say, watch those wings.
We'll say
if
you
go
make
inside.
it just inside.
You break it, you bought it.
All right. The creature is leaning on you heavily, and it seems to be kind of breathing strangely, but it pats your arm and says, "Thank you."
Aww.
All right. Reid-Quarrell, our gothy friend, you are next.
All right. I think I'm going to I'm not going to move any closer to the situation. Just want to get a clear sight line on one of those winged creatures, probably like whichever one is the farthest away, and stand there intimidatingly, and you see her inside the cloak comes out my hand holding my holy symbol, which is scales of justice held up in the middle with a skeletal hand. And
your hand holding a hand is what?
It is. My hand is holding the skeletal hand, which is holding the scales of justice.
I love it. Got it.
And on each of those scales, another hand.
It's hands all the way down. So and hold it out and say to my god, and pointing at the one that's farthest away. Today.
In Kelemdor's name. Oh, yeah.
No. Wrong character.
Yeah.
Today is your day.
All right. So there are 3 creatures that you're pointing at. One of them or all of them?
Just one, the one that's the farthest away.
All right. I'm going to say that's this one back here.
Okay.
So does that creature have to roll something?
It does not. I get to roll an attack, which is not as impressive. We are trying to find the armor class from the bottom up. So how does 13 look?
13 hits.
Okay. You're welcome.
So the strange, fiery little creature looks at you with skeptical eyes and
takes let's see, 7 points of necrotic damage.
All right. That is not good for it, as a little skeleton hand taps it on the shoulder.
Yeah, is it... Let's see. Just want to make sure... Chill touch. Is it undead?
It is not.
Okay. Then nothing extra happens to it. But I will point out that it has taken that necrotic damage. It cannot regain hit points until the start of my next turn. And until then, the hand clings to the target. So it's a little bit disturbing to see this hand. This particular hand is not a skeletal hand. This hand appeared in the square of the little flappy creature, grabbed onto it, did some damage, and is just hanging on.
Just to clarify, this is
all the way down.
Third hand, right? There's your hand.
My hand.
There's the hand holding the scales of justice.
Yep.
And then there's the spectral hand that you've summoned.
Yes, it is my
hands.
My chill touch hand. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, got it. Very chill.
Yep.
Super
all right.
chill.
Thamia, the Goliath warrior, newly tattooed, you are the next out the door of the tavern, taking in this scene of carnage ahead of you.
All right. Well, Chomasa has one of them, so I am going to take care of the other. Well, Chomasa was trying to take care of the... Yes.
You've engaged it.
Yes. So I'm going after this one here. 24, does that hit?
Oh, yeah, you cleave it. It kind of tries to, flap out of the way, and you just hack at it like it's a... I don't have a good metaphor. What is it? It's a I was gonna do a sports metaphor and I don't know the name.
Flying potato.
I imagine it was it's like a shuttlecock and you're playing badminton. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
there
right.
we go. Sorry.
Yep.
Sports terms. Always quick to my brain.
5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage.
All right, you swat at it, and this is. Okay, it's this one, sorry. There's 3 of them here. So one of them, Reid-Quarrell has damage, one of them, Thamia has damage, and one of them is engaged with Chomasa. So, all right.
And then I will take my hand axe and also attack. 5 is it 12?
12 hits.
Hit? Okay, cool. We're going to, with my D6, roll damage. 5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage.
All right, it is not looking good for this little fiery imp. All right, the angelic creature currently accompanied by Lee is in the pottery shop, and it's not looking good. It's kind of resting against a shelf of glazed pottery and just. Holding its side. Lee, you can see that there's several wounds in this creature's torso that are, the word bleeding suggests blood, but the substance oozing out of this creature does not seem to have any of the properties you would normally associate with blood. It's silver and kind of shiny and kind of a lot stickier than blood. Quewaris, you are next, the last out of the Ever Shady Tavern.
Q is holding his drink still in one hand. He strolls up here and says, "Don't worry, I have just the thing." He flourishes his new deck of cards, draws the first one on the top, and tosses it.
While holding a drink?
Yeah. He's very
okay.
Do you want me to roll sleight of hand? What's your problem here?
Yeah. Roll sleight of hand. I don't know. Everyone can relax. Quewaris has arrived.
Wow.
All right. 21s. You have no trouble. I was just how do you draw a card from a deck one-handed? The answer is, he just did.
With your teeth.
Yeah.
Throw the drink up in the air. Throw a card. Catch the drink. That's how it works.
What nonsense is happening, Dan?
I decided to take a fun item because it's my last adventure.
Dan, remember when I said items subject to Dungeon Master approval, and then you never told me about your item?
Yep, it was good times.
Yep, I also remember that. That's what I was saying.
So I draw the first card off the top of the deck, and guess what? The fun part of this is that it's totally random. So we've got a King of Spades. So what springs into existence right before this?
I love this. All right.
This is so
springs
great.
into existence.
You have just gained Dungeon Master approval. That's what just happened there.
Apparently.
Is Dungeon
because
Master
I can tell that it's not bad, but it's not what he wanted.
Dungeon Master approval another term for inspiration?
No, it's legally distinct.
Just checking.
A priest and 2 acolytes appear in the middle of the street.
That's what we need right now.
All right, a priest of what?
Pray
That's a
for
great
us.
question. I guess
that random too?
anything random
Kellenbor's priest?
could be but they seem to be. I'm gonna just go with this and say like they've got a bell and they're ringing it at these spirits and trying to dispel them as though they are the demons that they clearly appear to be. Foul beasts, go back to whence you came.
All right, says the priest summoned by a deck of cards. Got it.
Yep.
All right.
Is that a deck of many things?
No, that's rare.
Those are.
Wow.
That's also
It's
real
a
bad.
crappier version.
That's something I give you to punish you. As the deck
That's
of
right.
many
Yeah,
things.
that's what I thought.
Done that before.
Don't want to be in a campaign with a deck of many things.
I've got a specially printed Dungeons and Dragons deck of many things. I'd have to mail to whoever gets saddled with that.
Well, if Dan gets it, you could just, drop it off in a package on the doorstep.
So
What's in the box?
All right, so that went exceedingly.
That was your turn, is what you're telling me?
I'm trying to see if I've got a bonus action use, I think. But the winged creature, Lee has taken them inside the pottery shop, and I assume I can't see them from here.
Correct.
Okay. In that case, I don't know. I'm not too worried about us dealing with these guys, so I'm going to hold back on the Bardic Inspiration right now.
All right.
Until they attack, and then you get real worried. We'll see.
Right, because their
That's
turn's
fair.
next.
You know what?
Their turn.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. You're good.
All right. Their turn is next. These fiery, flapping bat monsters, these nasty imps. One of them has already been told today is the day by Reid-Quarrell. It does not care for this. It flaps around and smashes through a window into the pottery shop.
I was afraid of that.
My pottery!
My cabbages.
Yes.
Much pottery, reference acknowledged. Much pottery is laid waste. There is a creature flapping around doing all kinds of property damage in your presence, Lee. And then noticing you and your new acquaintance there, it turns, looks at the two of you, and spits a gout of fire. Roll a dexterity 11 saving throw. I'm going to roll it for your friend with disadvantage.
Do I have disadvantage or just them?
Just the badly injured creature has disadvantage.
Well, I am encumbered by them and therefore am not very dexterous right now.
Okay. So you slam into a wall of pottery. You are going to take 7 fire damage. Your friend is going to take 3 as it hits the floor. Kind of like a dodge, kind of like just standing up was more energy than it had anymore. And the creature laughs at you. Fire. The other 2 are engaged in situations with friends. Well, you're friends of you, not of them. So let's see. Chomasa, what are you carrying that might contain metal?
My swords.
No reason.
I'm like, or should I arrows? Probably have metal tips.
I feel like swords have more metal than arrows. And let's see. Yeah, so this creature is going to focus intently at your swords that you've been swinging at it with, and I guess just one of them. So you're like, your main sword, Chomasa. The creature is casting heat metal on it. Your sword is suddenly glowing red hot, and holding it is hurting your hand.
Does it matter if I'm fire resistant?
Yeah, I guess. I guess tactically, this creature has made a poor choice.
Yes.
Thanks for making my sword more awesome.
Well,
Can I slash you with that?
So you would take, I mean, you're not going to take this, but holding that sword right now is going to deal you 12 damage, fire damage, Chomasa. But I guess this creature did not do its homework. You are a red dragonborn ranger. I suspect that you resist some fire damage.
I do.
Do you know how much you resist?
Half.
So instead of 12, you would take 6 fire damage.
Nice.
The other badly wounded one is looking here. It's flapping around. I think it's going to shoot a gout of flame like its friend in the pottery shop did. I think this is going to catch Thamia, and let's say the priest and acolytes in a blast of flame. How's that, Dan?
Yep. Sure.
So if each of you could make a dex saving throw. Dan, you want to roll some saving throws for your trio of worshippers that you summoned?
I'm not gonna.
Oh.
The flame goes right through them. They're illusions.
Oh, they're illusions. Okay. Flame goes right through them. Thamia, give me a dex saving throw.
I rolled a 15.
All right. You will take 2 fire damage as you just get barely scorched. Chomasa,
but I will take that as a win since it distracted them enough to spout fire at it.
It did. Chomasa, let me just make sure I'm getting this heat metal spell correctly.
Do I need to drop my sword?
You will continue to take fire damage on the creature's turn if you do not. That is a choice you could make. So the sword is red hot, but it's unclear how much you care.
Well, my rage is now red hot.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use that red hot sword.
Give me a Constitution saving throw to avoid dropping it.
Okay. I rolled a 15.
All right, you're fine. If you had not done well on that, you would either have disadvantage. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say you're fine, especially because you're a dragonborn. Other creatures would be severely more compromised by this situation.
I rolled a 17.
All right, you cleave at the creature. Roll me damage.
6.
All right. You gonna do a follow-up second attack?
Yes, I am. And that is a 22.
Ugh.
Nice.
And another 6.
All right, you are hacking and slashing at it. Bits of kind of fiery. I want to call it fiery blood, but it really just is more like lava streams out of it with each stab, and the ground is smoking where it splashes. Anything else, Chomasa?
I'm going to drop the. Can I do that? Drop the sword now. The hot sword.
I think that's a free action.
Okay.
And you still have another sword, right?
I do have my other sword.
All right, Lee, you are in the pottery shop. There is a horrible little fire monster harassing you here.
It is horrible, isn't it? Okay, how much damage have we done? Like, friends, do we have a sense for how many hit points they might have?
I did 7 to the one that is in the shop with you, but it's not bloodied yet.
Okay.
I did 12.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Kathy, did you do 16?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would guess somewhere in the 20 to 30 range is my guess.
I'm thinking if I throw a dart, it's only 1d4 plus 4 damage.
No, it's still not bad.
Yeah.
That's something.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll throw a dart at it. 12?
Plugs it right in the shoulder.
Okay. So that is an entire 5 points of damage. Can I reach it to do my flurry of blows?
Yeah, you can. It's halfway across the shop from you. You can head over to where it is. We'll say it's 10 feet away.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to punch it. Oh, I punch it. 24.
Nice.
Right in its little fire face.
For another 7.
It is not looking good for this little fire imp.
Okay.
All right.
Yay.
I think that's it.
Reid-Quarrell back out on the streets.
All right. Well, the one that I originally attacked is now in the pottery shop, so I can't see it. So I think I'm going to point at the one that Chomasa is fighting and say, now you, today is your day. And do significantly less well. That's only an 11.
An 11 hits. You have identified
We found it.
Right, we found it.
That's it, right there.
I knew we. Good job, team.
Yay!
Yep. All right. So that does 3 points of necrotic damage.
All right. That is not looking good for that creature, but it's still there. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Thamia.
All right. Grabbing my badminton handled net thing. What do they? I don't know what they call them in badminton. Racket. Okay, perfect. For 14.
You swat it and basically cause it to knock it out of the sky. Roll me damage.
Yeah, we'll go with that. 5.
Oh, it's barely there. It's kind of like fluttering, like limping in midair as it flaps around.
That's fine because I have something else to beat it up with. And I rolled a 24. 2, 5. 5 points.
All right, you hit it with your hand axe, and the little fiery imp explodes. There is, unfortunately, Thamia, a splash of lava headed for your face. Make a quick dexterity saving throw.
7.
You take a good size helping of lava to the face for 7 fire damage.
They say, lava it or leave it.
I'm gonna say like 3 cups of lava.
Man, it hurt me more dying than it did while it was alive. That doesn't seem fair.
It's like it's not a lot if we were measuring, say, water or milk, but it does feel like a lot of lava to have coming in your direction.
I don't know. If somebody threw 3 cups of milk in my face, that would feel like a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but mean, as compared to if we had 3 cups of uncooked rice and then we cook that, that's a lot of rice.
That's true.
So, hi, welcome to Lava versus Rice, the podcast that is being shut down.
Oh man,
now.
My favorite new show on Netflix, The Floor is Rice.
Oh,
it's fine actually. It absorbs a lot of water.
Interesting tactile.
Not going to start.
So, Thamia, you have you've done your attack action. I don't know if you want to do anything else.
That's about. No, I think we're good. I trust. Yeah, my team. We're good.
All right, Quewaris, a bard. You're next.
Q looks perhaps just the slightest bit disappointed in his deck of cards, which he shoves in a pocket, pulls out a crossbow, and shoots the imp.
All right.
Have at! That's a 12.
12 hits and 11 damage.
Max damage
is enough to kill it.
Nice.
Chomasa, there's a splash of, a salsa bowl full of lava coming at your face. Give me a quick dexterity saving throw.
20.
All right,
Nice.
you nimbly dodge out of the way. You get a little scorch for 3 damage, which I guess then gets halved by you. So you take
1.
1 damage? Yeah, round down. So you just
I scoff
a little
at that
bit
damage.
gets like a little bit gets in your eye, basically.
That's the worst place to get. Doesn't wash out.
Yeah. Dragonborn have that third membrane. They're fine.
All right, membrane, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Blink it out.
Yeah.
All right, it off.
It is now the fiery imp's turns. There is only one of the original 3 left. It is in the pottery shop with Lee. Let's see. Its fire breath does not recharge, so it is going to fling itself at Lee in a last-ditch effort to cause as much damage to you and the property in this pottery shop as possible. It hates pottery. 16 to hit Lee.
My AC is 16.
All right, high goes to the attacker. So it clips you for 3 slashing damage, and then the wound kind of burns for 2 more fire damage. So that's 5 total, but if you were someone who resisted damage, those numbers being separate would be significant.
I am not.
All right. Chomasa, you are in the somewhat empty street. Things are in wreckage. There are wagons knocked over, barrels full of produce have been tipped. People, it seems like pretty much things have cleared out now because, the sight of 3 winged flying fire monsters fighting a strange man with wings, that clears the streets in White Sparrow pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see there is wreckage and a fight still going on inside the pottery shop across the street from you.
Well, I scoop up my sword, which I assume is now safe to...
Yeah, it's a little... It's warm, but it's no longer dangerous.
I like it. It's a good warm.
It's...
And I run into the pottery barn.
All right. You run into the pottery barn and see a strange creature slumped against a shelf of broken pottery. You see Lee engaged in fisticuffs with a horrible little fire imp.
Okay, I've got my sword swinging.
Yeah.
And sword
Don't even
number
have to
1.
worry about damage.
Yeah.
It's too late.
I'm not that fond of pottery. It's fine. I roll a 20, not a natural 20, but
You cleave at it. Give me damage.
8.
It erupts. Lee and Chomasa, dexterity saving throw.
20.
All right, each of you would take 3 fire damage, or if you are Chomasa, 1 fire damage.
I need healing.
You had a lot of had too much salsa.
Yeah. 6 of 21 is where I'm sitting right now.
All right, order has been returned to White Sparrow, or at least normality. Let's say that you help your recently acquainted creature. You limp over. He'll help him limp over to the Ever Shady Tavern, because at least there's a place he could lie down there that is not a trash pottery shop. The people of White Sparrow slowly return and start picking things up and trying to mend things and patch things together and start some important insurance paperwork and so on.
This creature, doesn't appear to be necessarily entirely natural, but I have a very good medicine score, so I would like to try to at least attend to their wounds.
All right.
In some way.
You are in, you're just in kind of like the first bench inside the Ever Shady Tavern. Many of the regulars have suddenly remembered that they have things to do elsewhere, so things are pretty quiet and empty in here.
It's amazing how many people left their stoves on.
Yeah. Reid-Quarrell, give me a medicine check.
That was only a 12. I didn't roll very well.
Well, I will tell you, with a 12, you recognize that this creature is not of the mortal world, that the injuries it sustained are significant.
So is that able to... Do I even think I would be able to stabilize these injuries?
Feel like this is not even something you've read about, basically. You are out of your element.
What about like
magical
a
healing?
Spell?
Yeah.
You could try. I would say with that medicine check, you're like, I don't even know where to start. Like, the stuff that is oozing out of him looks more like quicksilver than anything you've seen before. He has taken significant injuries. One of his wings is basically about to fall off.
Well, I feel like it's worth trying.
Okay.
So I'm going to cast a Cure Wounds.
All right.
And,
you cast a Cure Wounds. Remind me what that does?
I touch it and give back hit points equal to 1d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier. It has no effect on undead or constructs, so I doubt that applies to this. So assuming it works, I rolled a 1. So assuming it works, it would get back 4 hit points.
All right. The creature looks a little better, but still severely injured. But it seems like perhaps you've helped it a little bit. And specifically, hard to say. The creature opens its eyes for kind of the first time in a little while, though, and looks at the 5 of you wearily. Thank you.
I've done what little I can. Is there something more we can do to help you?
There is.
Tell us more.
I'm being dramatic.
I can see that about you.
My name is Serene. I come from a place called Ashura. It is not of your realm. We were attacked by devils, and my palace crashed near here.
Ooh.
There are beings that were imprisoned in Ashura that are now loose.
Do any of these words or places or names mean anything to any of us?
Give me a
Could
religion check.
Could Quewaris put on his? He pulls a circlet out of his bag.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, he does.
Puts it on.
What is this?
It's fancy.
It is fancy.
I don't know what this
How
is.
that's
I don't know what's
actually-
happening.
How this actually works. Rolling religion now. I only got a 12 even with that, but
I got a 13.
You think you feel like maybe the name Ashura you feel like maybe you've heard reference to that it might be a location spoken of as being somewhere in the celestial realms.
What were we rolling before? Was it religion?
Religion.
Okay, I rolled a 17.
You think specifically that you've heard that this is a place known from the realm known as Celestar, Thamia, which is the fourth of the seven heavens. It's supposed to be a nice place.
Sounds very
not
sparkly.
anymore.
Yeah,
Seems like.
very, very
Ugh.
sparkling. Well, this was just part of it.
Only the palace of it.
A warship of devils attacked the palace and tore it from the realm. It crashed in the mountains near here.
Oh, dear.
There is a devil called Krek, who seeks to summon his master to your realm.
That's not the devil that... No, that was a demon that we met
No.
before.
Shh, don't tell
Devils are
them.
worse than demons, just so we're clear.
That doesn't
Ah,
sound
actually,
terribly
is that
good at
true?
all.
No, it would be bad.
Which mountain did you crash in? Like which
To
direction did you come from?
to the east. Give me a I'm gonna say who is likely to perhaps have been traveling, not just hanging out in White Sparrow in the last week.
Probably me.
All right, Reid-Quarrell, when you were on your way back to White Sparrow,
And maybe Chomasa. Like, we were probably traveling together, I would guess.
you were out, working.
Hanging.
You were, doing what you need to do to acquire that snazzy cloak that Chomasa has.
It's a good cloak.
So about 5 days ago, you remember seeing like a blinding teardrop shape pulse of light in the night sky. You thought it was probably just like a meteor, and it looked like it kind of zipped across the horizon, disappearing into the mountains to the east, which any of you who have traveled in and around White Sparrow would know are called the Ghost Peak Mountains.
I will share that with the rest of the group and say, the story checks out.
Most intriguing.
Yes.
I need you to travel to that place and stop Grek. He will let Thuron through. Thuron, a general of Din, he will destroy your entire realm.
How can we stop him?
He is but one. You must try.
Could you be any more specific, please?
Does he have any specific weaknesses?
Kill him.
Oh, well.
Well,
Thank you for
Thanks for clearing
clarifying.
that up.
this is something I understand.
Serene starts to look kind of translucent, as if he's not quite there anymore.
So you're saying that I wasted my spell.
I think he hung around longer and gave you more information than he would have otherwise.
okay.
How's that?
All right. That's fair.
You get the sense that you probably only have a few moments left with this creature, before it returns to some other plane.
Can you tell us anything about devils in general? I at least have not encountered many in my time.
They're bad. They like fire and destruction.
Right.
Cool. Is there anyone we can inform of your injuries / soon to be death?
He looks at you, or I guess it looks at you as if your question is nonsense.
Were there any others of your kind in your palace when it crashed, or was it only you?
There were many, but I was the only one to make it out.
Oh dear. All right, suddenly Reid-Quarrell is like, okay, not only do we have to stop a demon, I have a whole bunch of people I need to lay to lay to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Serene kind of transforms where his body was lying on the tavern floor of the Evershady Tavern.
It was a bench.
But
Yes.
on the bench, the just dirty, grungy bench, there's suddenly just like a million little golden motes that start to float upward toward the ceiling of your smoky, grimy tavern that you brought this angel to die into.
I bow my head and bring up my holy symbol and say some prayers to Kelimvor for their celestial soul.
Mm-hmm. A street urchin wanders in through the door of the Evershady Tavern, and it's a small boy, looks like he's probably 8 or 9, and he says, "The merchants don't want this," and he drops 6 little fangs on the floor. Each of them looks kind of like a glowing rock shaped like a curved tooth. You suspect that these are remains from the horrible little lava monsters.
Can I pick one up
inspect
and look at
those?
it?
Yeah.
I'm
Each of
not
you picks
touching
one
them.
up.
Chomasa, go for it.
Yeah, we'll let the fire.
I got a 10 in investigation. No.
All right.
I got a 9.
I got a 1.
Okay. It looks
Ooh,
like
I
a
got
weird...
a 3.
You guys are...
Really
Great.
smart.
None of you are going to make it as dentists, is what I'm saying. These appear to be the fangs of, these little fire monsters look kind of like mephits, which mephits are various elemental creatures. There's earth mephits and fire and wind and water and so on. They come in a variety of elemental forms. These look like they might be magma mephits, and these might be their fangs. But their fangs, just looking at them and feeling them, you can feel like there is something more powerful than just your kind of normal elemental construct pulsing through these. They feel warm to the touch, and maybe even like little glowy, just a little glowy.
Q
I
takes
haven't
off
rolled-
his. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I haven't rolled anything yet. If somebody mentions how like warm and powerful they feel, could I roll like Arcana to see if
You could.
19?
There is something powerful that is still lingering in the teeth of these monsters you have destroyed, and it's as if some power from one of the 9 hells itself was empowering and channeling and committing those mephits to chase down Serene in a way that they would not normally have ever bothered to do.
Do I have the impression that like somehow destroying these teeth would weaken that power, or
No,
okay.
you've done it by killing them. These are just lovely mementos that you now have.
Q takes off his.
They might have some value if you knew like a weird spooky collector.
Yeah. Q takes off his circlet, and you can see his eyes kind of clear after a second, and he looks after the urchin and says, "Fangs a lot!"
Thanks for nothing. The urchin
Glad
runs away.
he took off the circlet because it definitely didn't need that extra.
I'm gonna ask, what is that strange circlet you just put on your head?
Oh, we came across this in our adventures recently with the goblins, and there was a goblin who would come across this circlet that made him smarter. Not smart enough because we took him down a peg, but it seems to have some properties that enhance the intelligence. So I keep it around just in case we need to do any extra research on things.
Seems very wise.
You want to try?
Sure. I'll try it on.
All right. He hands you the thing, you have to attune to it, so it takes a little while for it to kick in. But then your intelligence is temporarily boosted to 19.
Holy, I feel a lot smarter since my intelligence is 11 to start with.
Yeah.
Mine was 10. That's why he doesn't make stupid jokes when he's wearing the circlet.
Honestly, I feel like I find it a little bit discomfiting. So I will take it off and return it to Quewaris after the hour is up and say, this is very, very interesting.
It is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Is there somewhere around here I can buy a healing potion?
Yeah, I think you could. That's because your bard doesn't want to bother to heal you?
Apparently.
You could ask.
Busy making jokes.
I'd rather we save spell slots. Like, I'd rather
Also
spend money.
Yeah, I only have 2
than-
more spell slots after spending that one. We probably are spending at least an hour just like of downtime. You could also use a hit die.
I don't want to do that. Save the things. Buy consumables while you're in town.
All right. Why don't you regain 2d4 plus 2 hit die when you drink this healing potion?
Okay.
I'm also going to get one.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
How much are they?
I think they're about 50 gold pieces.
Okay.
That's all?
So, I mean, I don't know. That's some not everybody's as well off as you, Reid-Quarrell. You know?
Yeah.
No, I don't have that much money. I just assumed they were like 100 gold pieces. I only have 100 gold pieces.
My quick internet search suggests they are 50.
Cool.
Well, that only got me to 13 of 21. So if anyone...
I'll heal you. I got plenty of spell slots.
What am I rolling again?
2d4.
2d4.
Plus 2.
Plus 2.
Take another 5, Lee. Sorry.
I am back up to max.
This is not the best
All right.
roll.
9. Oh,
That's
me
okay.
too.
And I'll do a hit die too.
Well worth 50 gold pieces to get back to max.
Yeah, that would be like half of my entire life savings right now. So I'm like,
But at what cost? Your health.
Right.
You haven't got
50
your health.
gold versus.
You haven't got anything.
That's true. That's true. Maybe I should buy one for later just
For
in
the
case.
road.
Yeah.
Also, a granola bar.
Yeah, you don't want to see Reid-Quarrell with low blood
You might
sugar.
get nippish on the way there.
And some trail mix. The kind with the little chocolate pieces.
Yes.
Yes.
Now I want chocolate.
What's the point of anything else?
Chocolate.
Okay, I'm back up to max.
Yay.
So are we just heading out right away, or...
You tell me, adventurers.
I feel like time may be of the essence.
I agree.
think so too.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right. And so you decide to head out. You pack up some rations. It sounds like some of you have taken some healing potions. And it's going to take you probably the better part of the day to reach the Ghost Peak Mountains, which are far to the north and east of here. As you are heading out, crossing the countryside, some of you remember you passed by the old tower where the Nightblades live, and you passed
Good
some familiar,
times.
some of your familiar things. And before too long, you can see that something is different at the Ghost Peak Mountains. There is a visible cloud of black smoke and ash hanging over the top of them. Along the way, you're strolling. At some points there's like there's a path, and sometimes you're just going over the countryside. You pass a farmstead. There's a farmer sitting there with his livestock who greets you and says, "Be careful where you're going. Strange things are afoot."
What kind of strange things?
Well, my cow gave birth to 3 calves yesterday. Each one of them had 2 heads. It's an inauspicious sign.
Oh dear.
And so you continue on your way. You're traveling through a field, and the field is looking very weird. And as you look down, you realize that some of the plants in the field have all died, but specifically they've all died in the shape of a strange circular glyph. Seems very unnatural.
Do we recognize
anyone? Yeah. Why don't you look at it? Give me a religion check.
it? 10.
It seems spooky, and just thinking about it is making you feel unsettling. As Reid-Quarrell is standing around looking at this strange glyph that is just formed by dead plant life in the middle of the field, the rest of you just all feel like unsettled. Like this is not a place that you want to hang around.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's always cows and fields with the aliens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you head up into the mountains. There are no really trails here after a certain point. It's just rocky, cold paths, and there's a decent amount of ice along the way. It is night falls, and you decide it's probably for the best to camp here rather than trying to scale a mountain after dark. I don't know.
Yeah, camping far from the glyph, please.
Yeah. Well far from the glyph, but not all the way. You figure you'll do the final summit in the morning. So you get up together. Some of you have very strange dreams and visions as you sleep. You see a land built out of iron with horrible citadels bursting up from the ground, blood dripping off of rooftops, and creatures made of fire walking through the streets. And then suddenly you have images of that city, that iron citadel, here in the mountains just on the edge of the valley that White Sparrow is home to.
Gasp. Don't forget to take your long rest and get your spell slots.
Ah, good call.
And so you awaken the next day feeling not great about things, but with a sense of purpose that perhaps this is something you can do something about. You're at the foot of the mountain. A rocky path above you leads up toward the top, toward this site of some kind of crash that your associate Serene has told you about. A black cloud of smoke and ash hangs over the mountaintop.
Well, that's foreboding.
Forward? Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose we press on.
All right. And so you trudge for several hours up the increasingly steep, cold, and icy path toward what will hopefully be a place that you'll be able to do some good in the world. Maybe Quewaris plays some songs, maybe others tell some stories to try and keep your spirits up. But this is a march unlike anything that you have experienced, at least in your recent lives. And as you're getting toward the top of the mountain, toward the source of the smoke, something makes a noise in the icy cliffs above you. There is something bleeding. Bleeding, not bleeding.
Okay.
Bleeding.
Oh, like a sheep.
How do I hear?
Yeah.
Bleed.
Wait, oh, God, that's horrible. No.
Demons again.
Erica, help me out here. What's a good bleat?
A good bleat, like a
Yeah.
wah, wah.
I think we can do better than that. All right, hold on.
There you go.
All right.
I wish Kat was here. She's really good at the sheep noises. It's impressive.
Oh, wow. That's a special power.
It's a skill.
Editor, please pick whichever of those was the best sheep noise and remove all the other ones.
That sheep sounds ill.
As you round a bend, there you see a hulking beast in the shadows above you, and it makes a menacing bleat that sounds like this.
It's so menacing.
I'm terrified.
A menacing goat.
I mean, it's hulking.
Everyone's
so
a critic,
hulking,
Tony.
That's
That is a scary goat. I take it all back.
A creature that might once have been a ram drops down from the icy ledge, ready to attack the front of your party. It appears that Chomasa was leading the way. I don't know how accurate your depiction of tokens on the map is. This creature, though it may have been a ram in a past life, is now something different. I am wary to say something more. Its skin is split and torn. Its horns are covered in gore. Its eyes blaze red. Its legs have ripped open to form extra legs. This is now an 8-legged goat, and a single terrible glyph has been carved in the beast's forehead and glows red. This fiendish goat stands between you and your destination. That's right. You're gonna fight it. You're gonna fight a goat. Deal with it.
Suddenly, it seems more menacing.
Yes. Is the glyph the same shape as the one in the field?
Sure, looks similar. It's hard to tell. This one's on a goat, so you know.
Everybody throw tin cans at it. It might distract it.
How many tin cans do you have? In
1,000. Nope, those are ball bearings. Never mind.
All right. I'm adding the goat to the initiative order. Eat it.
The goat? Eat the goat?
I mean, okay.
I don't know.
I mean,
yeah.
If
it's
it
red now. What happened?
Yeah.
I decided to make it more demonic because you guys were not taking my goat seriously.
Oh, that definitely fixed it.
It's like, now I'm scared.
Now you have
it's
a red
curried.
spray-painted goat.
It's dripping with blood.
It's a pre-curried goat.
Oh, it's purple now. It's very scary.
You know what? Look. You guys
I'm
used
sorry.
to be my favorite
We're taunting Tony. This is a bad idea. He can have very terrible things happen to us.
You know what? Hold on. You know what
us.
ability I have?
Killing us.
Copy paste. Copy paste. Copy paste. All right.
Okay.
We can all agree that though you as players find the goat unintimidating, your characters find it unsettling.
Yes.
How's
Yes.
that?
Great.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's what better be that way.
So are we rolling initiative or what?
I'm rolling initiative.
Okay.
I mean, the goat has already killed 2 of you while you're making fun of it. I'm going to tell you, the goat has jumped down from the shadows. It has surprised you, and it is going to attack first on a surprise round, and then you can all react.
Jerk-facing goat.
Jerk-face goat, indeed. So the goat is going to start off with... It has a variety of things it could do.
Could it bleed at us again?
It drops down, and it looks like Thamia and Chomasa are kind of at the front of the path, leading the way. It drops down in your vicinity, and it does this. As it hits the ground, there's just an immense stomp as the ground shakes with some kind of strange power. So let's see. It is going to do a stomp attack against both of you. So Chomasa, that is a critical fail for the goat, and Thamia, that is a 20 to hit.
Oh, dang it. Yep, that hit.
All right, Thamia, you're going to take 6 bludgeoning damage and 2 fire damage. 8 damage total if you don't care about type.
Do not care about type. But very thankful for that healing potion.
Let's see. And since it has done that in your general vicinity, it kind of tries to rush between you and ram. I'm going to put it here. It's going to ram Lee. Let's see here.
Goat's a jerk.
Yeah, it is.
You can.
Lee.
It's a goat.
17 versus you.
Yeah, that gets me.
You get hit in the side by a giant, mean demon goat for 8 bludgeoning damage.
Jeez Louise.
It's like getting hit by a normal goat, but worse.
Okay, well.
Yeah. All right, Quewaris. You are toward the back of the group. You take in the whole scene as a goat has dropped down between all of you and charged your friend Lee.
Does Lee actually had better initiative than me? I think she gets to go first. Because she had a 22.
Oh, somehow.
Yeah.
I think you
Somehow
were
that
thinking
was
that was
how they
the sheep's turn.
All right, it's a goat. A giant infernal goat.
Don't
Get it right.
Don't call it a sheep.
I feel sheepish.
Wake up, sheeple.
Goatish.
Lee.
All right, well.
Lee, don't be goaded into doing anything you don't want to do.
I'm hitting it with my quarterstaff.
All right.
Quarterstaff. 17? 16.
17. 16. You wrap it across the forehead.
Bad goat.
Roll me damage.
The forehead, like, that's the hardest part of a goat. But
it also has the glyph.
That's true.
The goat glares at you with infernal eyes.
All right,
and
I'm going to do...
bleats.
Strike is 14 versus AC.
All right. You pummel the goat in the side. You just punch in a goat. High fantasy.
Whatever I can do. 7 that time.
Later, you guys should go cow tipping. Don't tip that two-headed cow though.
No,
7 damage to the infernal goats.
They're baby cows. They're easy to tip.
Yeah, especially with 2 heads. Like, that makes it top heavy.
Guys, that just does not seem sporting.
And,
Lee, anything else?
I thought I had a thing that let me disengage and run away. But I don't see it, so I'm just going to stay
I
here.
think that's a thief
All right.
thing. Or a rogue.
His cunning action is a rogue thing. There is some stuff with monks, though. They have a lot of mobility stuff.
Yeah.
Quewaris.
Q will... Oof.
Fight a goat.
I guess.
Fight
I
a
think
goat.
that's the answer. Just looking at some options here. Q will run up and stab the goat. 9.
All right, you stab in the direction of the goat, but your
Bad
little
rolls all
rapier
over.
clangs off the goat's scary horns.
Cool. All right. I have a lot of regrets.
Mm-hmm.
As a bonus action, let's give a bardic inspiration to Thamia. You get a D6 that you can add to an attack roll or a saving throw or ability check.
All right.
Enjoy.
Chomasa, I think you're next.
I've got my swords on the ready. The first one, I roll a 21
Wow, you were just cleaving at that goat.
for 7 points of damage.
All right, let me note that.
And I do a little spin and stab at it. A 23
Wow.
Ugh. Says the goat.
with 8 points of damage.
All right, this goat is severely wounded at this point. It has been hit with a stick, it has been punched, and it has been stabbed. Also, Quewaris did something.
Intimidated it.
I poked it.
Yeah.
All right, anything else, Chomasa?
No, that is it.
All right, Thamia.
All right, let's hit it with a hammer.
Hammer time.
Wow. Okay, 12.
That's a good time
12
to-
hits.
Okay.
Sweet.
Nice.
I'm going to roll the correct dice. 4.
4 damage.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's okay because I'm going to turn around and slash with my axe. Oh, just kidding. I rolled a 3, so I'm not even going to use my inspiration.
It's a hectic scene. Many of you are now crowded around the giant infernal goat, and it's, you swing, but you kind of like hesitate because you don't want to accidentally hit Chomasa, and you also miss the goat. Yeah. So
I appreciate it, though.
Cool.
All right, the goat is next. So the goat is at the center of this fray. Thamia and Chomasa and Quewaris, you are all engaged with it. Lee, did you disengage?
No.
Okay, you're there too.
Yep.
Reid-Quarrell, you're probably nearby but not engaged with it, do you think?
I think so.
All right. So the first thing this goat does, it's like reeling, it's spinning, it's looking for a target, and it just kind of does like a half step and jumps into the air and comes back down with an immense stomp. It is going to try and hit. I'm going to say 4 of you, everyone who's engaged with it. So everybody but Reid-Quarrell is going to be targeted by this. So Thamia, that is going to be 17 to hit. Chomasa, critical success to hit. Quewaris, 19 to hit. Lee, 15 to hit.
Oh, thank goodness. Doesn't hit.
Doesn't
All right.
hit me either.
It hit me.
It hit me.
It hit. Okay.
Yeah.
So Quewaris, you are going to take. Do you care about damage types?
Oh, man. I mean, just, academically, but...
6 bludgeoning damage and 2 fire damage.
Woof.
Things are going to be worse for Chomasa, though. I guess probably the fire damage is not going to be as big a deal. So it basically like lands on your foot, Chomasa. You are going to take 11 bludgeoning damage.
I'm going to use my cutting words as a reaction to reduce that damage with my Bardic Inspiration.
All right. How much does it get reduced?
Well, 1d6. Let's see how it goes. 1.
Oh my
Great.
God.
I have rolled
Thank you.
I have rolled
We
terribly
are
today.
all rolling awful this
You
round.
have taken 10 bludgeoning damage as a large infernal goat lands on your right foot, Chomasa. And there's a bit of a reverb. 7 fire damage to you, of which I guess you'll have that, so you'll take 3 fire damage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I am doing a good job at doing fire damage to the person who resisted this adventure.
you are doing.
That's
I appreciate
right.
it.
The goat, having done that, reels around looking for a target. Which of you has taken the most damage from the goat at this point?
Probably
who's
me.
not looking great? Chomasa?
I took 8, I think.
Yeah, I took
All
8.
right. The goat is going to try and charge you, Chomasa. It's going to do its ram attack. 7 to hit.
7? No, that doesn't.
Yeah. The goat rams in your direction and misses you by like a mile. The goat collides with the side of the glacial wall here, and dagger-like icicles rain down upon all of you. All
lovely.
creatures nearby, which includes Reid-Quarrell, make a dexterity saving throw. The goat is going to make a dexterity saving throw to not be impaled by icicles as well. The goat succeeds.
I got a
I
20
got a
in the dice, so
9.
that's
I got a 20.
21.
The number to beat was a 12.
Okay,
I
good.
failed.
I rolled a 14.
If you failed, you take 3 piercing damage from falling ice.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not feeling good about this adventure. Let's just go home.
Yeah.
I go home
Reid-Quarrell.
with you.
Okay. So the goat is now over there.
Probably this Krez. Too many names that start with KR in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
Dan knows all of them. Krek. Krensk is the guy who. What does Krensk do in your bar now, Dan?
He's a
forget what he was
bouncer.
hired
He
to
is
do.
now hired a bouncer
Bouncer.
after we kind of abused him
Beat
for a
him-
long time.
beat him up
He was a
several
low-level
times.
thug, and we made friends with him, by which I mean...
Technically, he
really
was a
mean to
mid-level
him.
thug, but you sure treated him like a
Treated him
low-level
like
thug. Oh, man. Anyway, so Krek, the demon, sure, you could just go back to the Ever Shady Tavern and play Pinochle and just find out what it means when he opens up a portal to the General of Din, known as Thuron, who will likely show mercy on you for having chosen not to stop. That's not true.
Okay. No.
All right, Reid-Quarrell.
Okay. Can I make a medicine check just to sort of see how many hit points I think this thing might have left?
It's not doing well. It is panicking and flailing about.
Like, I'm just trying to decide, do I want to use my spell that has a better chance of hitting, or do I want to try to attack it with a weapon, which will do more damage, is what I'm trying to figure
I
out.
think it is probably hard to know that without some pretty powerful ability to know a creature's hit points based on your relative limited experience with infernal goats so far.
That's true. I mean, I have a lot of experience with goats, but infernal goats is outside.
Beasts of a different color.
Yeah, outside.
Literally.
Red.
Mhm.
Red.
I think I will try to attack it with my halberd because it did get pretty close. Am I like within 10 feet of it where I am now?
Oh, because the halberd has reach? Sure.
Yep. All right. So then I will just continue to stand where I am, as is my
Yeah.
wanting battle, and just bring out my giant long halberd and swing at the hindquarters of this goat. And do it very poorly for a 9. So
Oh, the goat somehow tumbles out of the way, on this treacherous icy path.
yeah, I didn't think that would hit. Okay. Chomasa has been hit a whole bunch of times, correct?
It's true.
Yeah, I am going to use a bonus action and cast a healing word over toward Chomasa,
All right.
which will restore. Let's see. How many points? 7
Ooh,
points.
thank you.
I rolled
Nice.
max.
Woohoo.
All right, and then I will continue to stay where I am.
All right. Let's see. Lee, you are next, I believe.
Okay. Do I need to move a square to get within range, or am I...
Yeah, it kind of charged it off and hit the wall, so you can scamper over there and punch it if you want.
Okay. Alrighty. So we're gonna do my typical quarterstaff unarmed strike. 1, 2, not quite punches. We're 21 to hit with my quarterstaff.
Oh, you hit it right in one of its it's kind of like its joints. You know, at this point, you know some of the weak spots on a goat. Just get it right there with a stick.
Okay, and I only rolled a 1, but that's still 5 points of damage.
This goat is looking very unsteady on its many, many legs.
And then for my unarmed strike, that's a 7.
You punch in the direction of the goat, and the goat spirals out of the way. Do you get to do another one, or no?
No, just 1 for unarmed strike.
All right. Quewaris, a bard. There is a goat flailing about on the path ahead of you.
You call that a goat? I've seen scarier goats down at Farmer Smith's goat
Emporium.
Really you were so strong.
I started so strong. Ran out of steam.
Is that across the path from Farmer Jack's goats, and more goats?
Yeah, right.
And sheep.
But
you know what? Goats tell it on a mountain.
But down the street from the goat palace. I got it.
Well, it can make a saving throw. Wisdom.
All right.
DC 13.
Goat, check and goat wisdom. Really? Okay.
Oh, no.
Well, he didn't make it. He rolled a 12.
Okay.
So this goat takes 1 psychic damage.
And it's a disadvantage on its next attack, which...
All right.
That is good.
Yes, because at 1 point, its psychic damage just hurt its psyche just a little bit.
You have attempted to punch a goat. You have attempted to psychically manipulate a goat.
Manipulate's a strong word.
You have demoralized a goat.
Thank you. Much better.
There we go.
Really taking the high path here. Chomasa, do you want to go next?
I do. My foot really hurts, and I'm annoyed.
Yeah, you had a goat dropped on it.
Okay, so my one sword, I am attacking with a 7. But I have another sword.
Mm-hmm. No waiting.
And it attacks with a 9. Apparently then less agile with 1 foot.
This has been a turn, people.
Yes.
Chomasa, you all set?
I'm all set. I'm off nursing my foot.
Thamia, you are all that stands between this goat getting another turn to just wreck all of you or slaying it. Can you hit the goat? A thing that, for the most part, your colleagues have not been good at doing. Can you hit a goat? Can you hit a goat?
I believe in you.
Okay, so if I rolled an 8, what do I roll with inspiration?
It's a bardic inspiration is 1d6.
A d6.
Go for it.
Yep. We're rolling that. Magic, come on, dice baby. I rolled a 4, which is 12.
12 hits a goat.
Yay!
Even a giant infernal goat. Roll damage, Thamia.
I rolled an 8.
As Thamia takes in the scene of you all attempting to murder a goat, your half-giant friend strides over and just stabs it in the gut with a sword. The goat dies with an infernal bleat.
That was an infernal bleat.
That was very scary and intimidating.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm glad that bardic inspiration paid off because I was feeling pretty useless.
Yeah. No, you did great. Thank you for that.
Teamwork.
We survived.
Makes the dream work.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
So I rolled a 20 to Arcana to check this thing out.
Okay. You are studying the goat. The symbol carved into its forehead suggests that it has been cursed and possessed by an entity straight from the Nine Hells itself. It is not really a goat so much as a goat-shaped container for some kind of hellish nightmare entity that you have now removed from existence.
So we probably shouldn't try to make curry out of this goat, although I bet it would be spicy.
I like spicy.
Yeah, same.
Not how much ichor do you like in your curry?
Ick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Also, I'll just tell you, Lee, as you study it, you suspect to the right weird collector, the glyph-marked horn of the ram is probably worth something, too.
Cut that baby off.
Sure, yep.
All right. Just add that to the same pouch where you keep those mephit fangs.
Oh, mix them all up for a great witch's brew.
Honestly, I want to find the collector that wants all of these things and then to just take them out because I don't trust anybody who's collecting this particular stuff.
It's just somebody who runs like a really sad pawn shop.
I'm picturing all these fangless mephits coming in like, are you fangs?
Or like costumes for Halloween.
That's right.
Yeah. It's mainly it's a place.
It's a pop-up store. Yeah, it comes once a year.
It's in Diagon Alley.
Oh man!
So you decide that this is probably a good time to head further up the path.
No, we go home. Don't speak for us.
I like how he didn't even give us the choice.
You decide. Obviously, you're going to keep going.
Maybe you wanted to sit down
maybe it's
and take a rest for an hour so people can use some hit dice if they need to.
I could use some healing.
Yeah, maybe here next to the simmering infernal remains of this goat demon.
It's nice and warm.
Right, we're in a glacier.
Yeah.
Do we want to do... I don't know how people are. I'm doing okay. I only have 2 more spells for the entire day, so healing people, I could do it.
I'm at 13 out of 21, which is not great. I'm have
16
all
out of
my...
25.
I've got 6 spell slots, so that's a decent amount, but I don't know what else we're going to face.
Yeah.
So. Using a hit die
I figure
is
we'll
fine
probably face something even worse
than a goat.
Right.
I don't know, Erica.
Yeah, I could use
two goats.
a hit die.
2 goats.
All right, can we take an hour?
Yeah. All right. Totally.
Let's take
I
an
feel
hour.
like it probably took an hour to
anytime.
just do that really in-depth investigation that Lee just did of this goat. And I suspect that like cutting off a horn of a goat takes a while because you got to get like the right kind of angle and saw and saw and saw. You can't just do that with a sword.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, that was good.
So I'm up to 20 of 21.
Same.
Good.
Can I get a reminder on hit dice how that works?
Roll
It should
a
say-
hit die for you, which is probably a D10.
10 or 12.
For fighters,
I am
10,
not
I think.
is it
if you,
Under your HP, perhaps. Like there should be like a little hit dice.
or if you're in D&D Beyond, just click on short rest and it'll tell you what the hit die is.
All right. So you have rested. This is, turning out to be quite a saga as you trudge up the mountains. It has been some time now since your the simple days of just fighting some magma methods in the streets of White Sparrow, and you feel yourself getting closer to the top of the Ghost Peak Mountains. The top of the mountain has basically been blown off, and there is just a smoking crater ahead of you, and the path up toward the mountains it seems like it would, in the past, it would have gone up to the top of the mountain's peak itself, but it basically just kind of drops off here into an immense crater. I think as you look out there, you have a pretty uninterrupted view of a bunch of stuff in the crater, so you probably can't quite make out details on the far walls, but looking out across this huge crater, there's a swirling haze of ash rising up from the deep crater. Within it rest the remains of a fallen palace made of crystal that you see far on the northern edge of the chamber. Deep cracks shoot through the crystalline structure, and even from here, you can see the corpses of several winged creatures, perhaps angels, perhaps devils, littered on the snowy slopes around it. Slightly closer to the edge of the crater from which your path has deposited you is the immense crystal, presumably head of a statue of some kind of god, half buried in the snow of the crater.
I just enjoyed all the 3 or 4 of us.
We're all tilting our heads,
isn't it? Oh my god, it goes with the hand.
Is the size appropriate to match the hand?
Yeah, hard to say.
We need to bring it back with us, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I'll just drag it.
Who brought a protractor?
Not I.
Yeah. So it is a decent drop down from the crater where you are to the floor. Or I guess it's a drop from the path to the floor of the crater.
How far are we talking?
Do we have any rope?
Yeah, because
I have the finest silken rope, let me tell you.
mine's merely hemp.
It's a good 20 or 30 feet down.
Okay.
I got 50 feet of rope. We're all set.
Yeah.
How slippery is this surface?
How slippery is ice?
Okay.
Medium slippery.
Medium slippery.
And now,
I mean, the ice can, like, as a Wisconsinite turned Canadian, I can tell you that there are a lot of different slippery factors of ice. It can be very slippery. It can be not slippery very much
could we possibly utilize Chomasa's awesome fireness to melt footholds down? Ooh, a slide would work. But I'm thinking more to come back up again.
Oh.
Well, I think
you're thinking we're gonna get out.
I know. I'm optimistic.
Let's just leave. I will
you
tie
probably
my rope.
in your adventuring pack probably have at least one person has some good climbing rope and a little hammer and some
like a python
metal pins
We
that
can
you could
probably
hammer
leave
into
some
here.
rope.
Yeah, and then
for
we'll
us
just
to
leave
climb back up.
I'm perfectly happy to leave my rope just here as our exit.
Do you guys want to
strategy.
leave all your rope here?
No. Just 50 feet of hempen
You
rope.
sure?
The
Not all.
hopeful face of a DM that hates rope.
Just all of your rope.
Hey, at least
No
we're
one bought a
using rope.
stupid magic rope, right?
At least we're using rope for something that you can actually use rope
Use
for.
rope.
Yeah.
for it,
No,
yeah.
this is
I craft
All right.
a zip line out of rope.
All right, we shoot an arrow.
Yeah, we shoot a crossbow
Down
bolt
into-
down, make a zip line, throw your belt over it.
Yeah.
Cannon.
I'm just tying my rope to an outcropping or pounding it in with some.
I have drawn rope on the map.
Yay!
Yay.
That
That's a good
truly
rope, Tony.
that feels like my
Good
greatest
job.
victory as a player, making the DM draw rope on the map.
All right, so this is the always exciting part. Who is going to be the first person to try climbing down the rope? Who will be the person that needs to be rescued by others?
Okay, so I'm going to stand at the edge where I can see people go, and if someone slips, I'm going to cast Levitate on them.
Nice.
Yes, smart. I think I should probably go first because I'm the largest and the heaviest to make sure that it's solid enough. And so if I fall, I don't land on somebody.
All right, here's how it's going to work. You are going to make an athletics check to climb down the rope. Because you have put a rope in place and not just tried to climb down the slippery side of the crater, you're going to have advantage on that check. So, Thamia,
I'm also, as I have a pretty decent strength, I am also going to sort of monitor the rope. So if it does seem like it is coming unglued from the top, I will try to grab it and at least slow Thamia's descent.
All right, sounds great.
All right.
So, Thamia, first up, give me an athletics check with advantage. So 2d20 plus your and take the higher roll, and then add your athletics, which I assume is for a Goliath pretty good.
Yeah. So 14.
All right, you have no trouble descending the rope, landing successfully at the floor of the crater. It is cold. It is icy. There's bits of crystal shards everywhere, Thamia. In the distance, you can see the strange structure of the half-covered head, and I'll reveal a little bit more of the crystal palace itself in the distance. How's that?
Ooh.
All right, Thamia is down safely. Who is next?
I will go
and
last.
I am also at the base, keeping the rope taut, and I'm ready to catch
me! Wee!
Capture someone to use as bait.
I don't know why that's what I kept trying to say.
Quewaris will slide his way down this rope.
Give me an athletics check with advantage, Quewaris.
Advantage. I like advantage because my athletics is 1. 17.
All right, you have no trouble getting down.
Should have made the zip line.
Yep.
I'll go next.
All right, Lee, the monk.
18 with advantage.
All right, you make it look like, it was basically a ladder that happened to vaguely look like a rope. Okay,
I'm going.
Chomasa and Reid-Quarrell, you're the only ones up, still there at the edge of the crater.
I'm going.
All right, Chomasa, roll twice, take higher.
I got 23.
All right, no trouble. You're down there. Reid-Quarrell is all alone.
I'm still ready to cast Levitate if I need to.
I got a 16.
All right, you are safely down.
Yay, team.
Woo.
All right.
Now that we've done our only good rolls for the day.
Yes.
I would like to, if there's any way to just sort of like make sure that the rope is sort of draped so it's not super obvious that there's a piece of rope there, I would like to do that, sort of make it so that, somebody else isn't going to come along and like tear it down or...
I think it would be really hard to tear it down. I think it supported all your weight. They'd have to climb up and undo it.
That's it. I don't want anybody to notice it, if possible.
I think that it is unfortunately pretty obvious that it's a rope on the side of a cavern. But it's also like, I don't know. They'd have to climb up there, and then what would they do? They just live up there then. So they climb up there and then fling themselves from the cliff back down. All right. So, what would you like to do? You have climbed down. The floor of the crater is weird. There's lots of ice, but there's also lots of crystal shards. It's a little bit like walking on broken glass here. It is deathly quiet, except for the sound of your footsteps on this like crystal that makes kind of a cracking noise everywhere you go.
Well, I guess we're not going to be subtle about our approach.
Yeah.
No.
Shall we go straight to the palace, or should we take a look at that giant head?
Well,
I want to look
the
at
head's on the way. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
I was
All
afraid
right.
you were all going to say that.
So
You were right.
You make your way toward the immense, gargantuan crystal head, half buried in the snow. It lies on its side. You can just kind of see the face in profile if you were looking on it from down above. And all around it is a bed of shattered glass crystal, huge spikes standing up from the ground. All of them as sharp as swords, some of them more like lances or halberds. Are huge, and just getting near it is going to require some acrobatics checks to pick your way across carefully. I recommend not crawling across it. Just pro tip.
I'm going to keep my distance. So
it's hard to make out the details of the head in the kind of ashy fog that hangs over it. So, if you want to get close to the head, you're going to have to climb across this field of broken crystals, which would require an acrobatics check to avoid taking piercing damage. Who wants to do that?
Sure.
My acrobatics is +6, but can I roll well enough?
Mine's a +4. I'm game for it.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, I'll try.
All right, Lee, Chomasa, and Quewaris head over that way. Maybe Reid-Quarrell and Thamia hang back for now.
Yeah.
You're still within sight of each other.
Yeah.
21.
I also got 21.
13.
All right. Even a 13's enough, so you pick your way carefully. Quewaris falls behind a little bit as Chomasa and Lee leap from shard to shard, making their way across the field of glass. The size of the head is immense. It seems like it's just impossible to take in who could have built this thing? Who does it represent? Why is it here? And this is presumably just the head of an immense statue. Lee and Chomasa, as you're looking at it, you hear kind of a strange gurgling noise, and it kind of comes into focus. It's hard here in the hazy, ash-laden air. You see a figure, a body of a large winged humanoid that is basically impaled upon one of these giant shards of crystal sticking out of the ground. It's and there is the giant shard is dripping with quicksilver blood that is pooling beneath it.
As Q is looking at the head, he's going to take out the circlet again and put it on.
All right.
All right, I rolled 21 for an Arcana check. do I sense anything about it? Anything arcane about it, or does it just seem...
You study this creature and you recognize that this is a celestial. It is similar to your friend Serene that you met earlier today. Specifically, you even know that this is a celestial known as a solar, which is a different type of angel, different job classification than that of Serene, who was a diva. But this is a creature that specifically impaled upon this huge piece of crystal that its palace was presumably made from, is painfully dying, but at the same way seems to be dying very slowly. And perhaps, though you cannot heal this creature as evidenced by your experience trying to treat Serene, perhaps you could free it from this suffering.
This is very sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are we can we get close enough to lift it off the shard, or is it too?
It's big. The creature is a good 8 feet up there, so you could try and figure out how to do that.
What about a medicine check?
I will say, so
could we melt it? Could I melt it with my fire?
Quewaris, Thamia, and Lee, you're there. Chomasa and Reid-Quarrell, you're back. You're not entirely sure what's going on.
Yeah, I'm just watching from a distance and I'm sort of keeping an eye out around my friends. So if something else pops up, like I have 120 feet range with my with my chill touch. So I'm just keeping an eye out.
Yep.
And I'm hanging out to protect Reid-Quarrell just in case anything happens on the side.
How tall is Thamia?
It's a very good question.
Probably at least 8 feet or so.
Yeah.
Goliaths are big.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, if you guys wanted to holler up at us, Thamia could try to make her way down and like knock off the top of the spire and lift, because you're tall enough to be able to like lift the angel over your head.
Yeah.
Off of the spire.
Yeah, I'm willing to do that if you
do that.
But I'm not sure that we would be able to see that from here.
Could I stand on someone's shoulders?
I'm pretty tough. You could try.
Lee might be better at standing on anyone's shoulders than you are, given Lee's.
That's true. I just figured making a medicine check. I don't know what, Lee, what's your medicine score like?
+2.
Same as mine, so you might as well.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we could try.
Okay, so I'm lifting you up?
Sure. What kind of check? Acrobatics?
Probably, athletics for me.
I got a 23.
All right, you have no trouble clambering up your dragonborn friend as if you've been practicing this.
I got a 20 to a medicine check.
All right, this creature, this celestial being, is mortally wounded and is in some kind of perpetual state of dying. If you could get it off of the shard on which it's been impaled, perhaps you could give it a more dignified death.
I rolled a 21 on a strength check. Would that do to lift it?
Yeah. So, it's a little bit awkward, but perhaps maybe the between the three of you, you spend some time, and it's hard. You have to, push him upward off of the the angel upward off of the spire on which it's been impaled, which is quite hard, but you're able to do it, and then kind of catch the angel and lower it to the ground next to the spire. It's quite a production. It takes you a little while to do it, but then you are gathered around the angel. Meanwhile, Thamia and Reid-Quarrell are, 20 or 30 feet away on the other side of the field of glass of crystal shards that seem to have created, a situation that Reid and Thamia did not feel like dealing with as far as traipsing across glass. Reid-Quarrell, you feel like a sudden kind of a burst of warm, hot air kind of behind you to the right.
Well, I've been trying to keep lookout, so I feel like that would be a thing that I would notice.
All right,
I will quickly turn I'm on
You turn.
guard.
There's kind of a fiery oval in the air right next to you, and a form you recognize, the devil Rays, who you met in a previous adventure, steps through.
Rays, is that you?
Oh, Reid-Quarrell. Didn't think I'd be meeting you again so soon. How are things?
They've been better. Apparently a palace has crashed into the mountains and it's causing some trouble here.
Indeed. That's why I'm here.
Are you here to help us clean it up and ensure that no portal into what was it? The land of Din happens?
Well, I'll be honest.
I appreciate that.
I didn't think you would be here. Didn't expect anyone here. Think of me more as just an observer, a neutral third party.
So you're not here to help open any portals, is what you're saying?
Things are complicated.
Insight check.
Sure.
Let's see. How was my insight? Oh, my insight's pretty good. It's a +5, so that's an 18.
What do you want insight on specifically?
I want to know if I really think that he actually is telling me the truth about being a neutral third-party observer.
Sure.
And whatever it is you were just about to say, I want to know, how I'm reading that.
It's hard to say. Rays is a devil, a very tricky creature who did attempt to convince you on first meeting that it was an angel, when that seems to be not what it was. Also, though you do not have any kind of formal business relationship with Rays, Rays does seem somewhat curious, perhaps even sympathetic about your situation, since you were part of a group of adventurers that freed.
Yeah, I was one of the two people who
centuries of captivity.
Yeah, I was one of the two who actually stepped forward and specifically scuffed the lines so that he could get away.
I'm simply here to observe. Certain employers of mine are very interested to know how things are going to end up here.
So you are observing, reporting back to your bosses, making daily reports or something like that?
Something
Spreadsheets.
Like that.
I see.
It's all very, very boring.
I see. Paperwork. Yes. Do you have the authority to intervene should things go in any particular direction that your bosses want?
Well, I'd have to put in a requisition for that, and that's probably outside of my pay grade. I am just a single servant here, simply to report back what is seen, and the legions will deal with whatever comes from this. You can understand these things are very complicated.
Indeed. I mean,
some of my compatriots, the idea of Theron crossing over into your plane, that excites them. All the better for him to stop lounging around in the nine hells, and it's an opportunity for others, whereas others would prefer to leave your realm as more of a fertile hunting ground that is open to all. So it's a lot of politics. You know how the office can get.
Even in the clergy, we have
especially.
Indeed. Okay. Well, it's nice to see you.
Don't mind me. I'll just be hanging around here for a little while.
All right. That's fine with me. I feel in the interest of openness and honesty, I should tell you that we are going to try to stop the opening to Theron. That's very important to us here as mortals on this plane. So that's what we are about.
Best of luck. Openness and honesty. I like that. I'm going to use that. Meanwhile, on the other side of the field of broken glass, Chomasa, Quewaris, and Lee, you are gathered around the dying form of a solar that you have taken down from the spire. Its eyes kind of flicker open as they seem maybe they're not really focusing on you, but he kind of looks at each of you in turn and says, "My name is Overon, and you have done me a great service."
What happened?
I was injured when the palace was attacked, and we fell to this place. I have lain here suffering for days. He kind of reaches it. I should say it reaches, and it takes from there's a huge gaping wound in its torso, and the angel reaches for its own quicksilver blood and reaches out with its hand and said, "Please hold out your weapons."
Okay.
I hold out my weapons.
All right.
Dang it.
The angel kind of paints each of your weapons with some of its own blood, and kind of nods and fades away. And there's suddenly, in the ashy ashy crater, a million little golden motes floating up toward the sky. Each of your weapons counts as a magic weapon with a +1 bonus to attack rolls and damage rolls until the next dawn.
Wow.
Sweet.
Cool.
So Oberon has floated away into nothingness. There is a rock sitting there, just kind of a decent sized little pebble that looks like it might have been perhaps, in a pouch on his belt, lying there on the ground.
I will pick it up.
All right. This is, I don't know how you pronounce it, Ioun?
Yaun.
Yaun?
Yeah.
Ioun is how I've always heard it.
Ioun?
But I don't know if that's right.
This is an Ioun stone. It is a kind of celestial artifact, and as you pick it up, Quewaris, you know that whoever holds this stone can speak and read celestial.
Yeah.
Is this one of those ones that you throw up and it spins around your head all the time?
I don't think so.
I always
maybe.
thought that was
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what the name of that is, though. Okay, well, I will hold on to it unless we need to. Otherwise,
Have somebody read.
transfer it.
All right,
you can speak and
Quewaris,
read.
Chomas, and Lee. Oh, celestial.
Celestial.
Actually, you know what?
Do you want to travel back across the field of glass to rejoin your friends and
I think
the
yes.
new observer?
Yeah, is there
Can I do
anything
Yeah, go ahead.
about the statue head that sticks? I mean, other than the fact that it's a giant statue head in the ground, is there anything in particular I noticed
Anyone
about
getting
it?
headaches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do an investigation check, which I rolled a grade 10.
I'll do the same.
It's an immense
9.
head made of crystal. You've never seen anything. It's impossible to even comprehend the size of the piece of crystal that this would have been carved out of. You can't even imagine anything like that.
But it's not the same material as the hand.
No, it's not. The hand is clearly stone, though it's a stone of unfamiliar sources. This does seem, it seems like, you are very fixated on the giant head, having seen a giant hand. It does not seem like, I'm going to say, with that investigation roll, they don't seem like they're of the same scale. Specifically, I'm going to say that the head seems even bigger in scale than the hand, and they are clearly a very different construction, artistic styles, and certainly materials. How's that?
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I think
enough?
I'll head back over.
I'll
to
go
the
back.
others.
Enough hand talk for
Another
Dungeons and
head
Dragons.
talk.
Just wanted a heads up. All right, let's go.
Yep. Rolled a 22 to acrobatics to get back.
All right.
Acrobatics, you say? All right.
I rolled
Who's
a 14.
this?
I say, hey, Race.
As
18.
everybody
So,
comes back up,
Chomasa.
we can make introductions.
So, yeah, Chomasa and did all of you make successful acrobatics checks to get back?
Yep.
Chomasa, Lee, and Quewaris?
I did a 14.
All right. Yep, that's good enough. So you pick your way carefully back across the broken field of glass and crystal and find, strangely, Reid-Quarrell, Thamia, to be standing with a rather sinister-looking figure. It's almost kind of, you're not entirely sure the nature of this creature, but you have a sense of unease, and it's almost like the opposite of the feeling you got being in the presence of Serene, or even this angel that you just recently laid to rest.
Mm-hmm.
It nods at the three of you.
As they were picking their way back, I would like to say I introduced Rays to Thamia.
All right.
Thamia, this is Rays with
Yeah.
Thamia. And then I will make introductions.
A pleasure.
Well, and I met Ray's
Yep.
in our previous
Everybody else.
adventure.
And, this is Quewaris.
Oh, yeah,
this
so
is Lee.
Chomasa you recognize.
And you've met Chomasa.
Yes, I helped for you.
Chomasa, good to see you again.
I bow.
Thamia, Lee, Quewaris, a pleasure.
Interesting to
Hello.
encounter you here.
Yeah.
Interesting times.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Apparently he is here to observe.
Just to
what happens.
observe and report. Nothing sinister about that at all.
Strange that you would jump to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to roll my own insight check.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's only a 10.
I mean, even with a 10,
4.
everything about this... QRs, you love them.
You seem delightful.
Lee, even with a 10, you feel like everything about this creature is sinister.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I mean, I had my 20 something on my insight check.
You didn't think he was lying.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yep.
You still know that he is a devil.
For sure.
You know, recently freed from the basement of, the White Sparrow keep. So this is where the editor would put in, no,
Yeah.
listeners, see adventure. You know.
Right.
Previously.
Specifically, the adventure A Gleam in the King's Eye. Reid-Quarrell, Chomasa, and others found all kinds of creepy things in the basement of Lord Marlon White Sparrow, including, unbeknownst to him, one of his ancestors just kept a devil locked up in a chamber. You know,
Like
As you do.
as you do. Royalty.
What else do you do with them? Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so are we picking our way to the cathedral?
Palace, yeah.
I think yes.
Yeah.
Palace,
All right.
yeah, thank you.
Don't mind me, I'll just follow along. He kind of flaps in midair with strange bat-like wings as Rays follows you.
Is there any obvious entrance way to get into this thing, or is it just a mess?
Why don't you roll an investigation check?
Why don't I? Because I have a +0. That's why. No, I still got a 17.
All right. You are looking around Reid-Quarrell for some kind of entrance into this structure. It's weird. Obviously the architecture of this structure is perhaps on a different, different school of thought than what you're used to in your travels in the mortal realm. Specifically around scale, but also it's as if someone took a immense, glowing, magical cathedral and threw it at a rock. So
Which is kind of what happened.
yeah, the structural this does not look structurally sound anymore, and as you look around, it seems like as this thing came to a rest here in the crater, many creatures were basically flung from it, and perhaps some others died climbing out of it, suggesting that entering it would be extremely dangerous, if not impossible. As you're searching around for an entrance, which you do not find, you do notice that there does seem to be a trail of both angelic and demonic blood. The angelic blood you recognize for its quicksilver nature. The demonic blood is kind of this black, sticky tar, some of which you recognize from your fight with that infernal goat. And they both seem to be leading off in the northwest direction from here.
Can I capture any of that silver blood and rub it all over, say, a weapon?
You could try.
All right. What would I try?
I guess you just do it. Your sword now has some silver on it.
Sweet.
You're not sure if that does anything.
Cool.
All right.
Why not?
Good times.
I think I'm gonna slowly follow the trail to the northwest.
All right.
Yeah.
You all start heading off in the northwest. Ray's kind of flits around. You notice him. He seems to be paying mainly attention to the various devil bodies here, and he kind of calls over his shoulder. You all set with this? Do you mind?
Do we mind what?
Just going to take care of a few things.
Northeast or northwest?
Northwest is the Trail of Blood.
I mean, as long as I don't get hurt, as long as we don't get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Do your thing? Okay.
Ray's kind of flits her out. He seems to be kind of taking things from the bodies, maybe like dog tags, and he crosses some of their arms, and they, Lee, you're kind of maybe within 20 feet of one. The body just ignites and like kind of a flash fire, and then poof, and there's just kind of like embers in the air.
What kind
Ray's
of
goes about doing that with the last remaining demons scattered around on the snow.
what kind of a role would it be to see? Is it like a history or an arcana to like understand what he's doing and why?
I would say Arcana or Religion.
Okay. I will try religion.
You could also just ask him.
I could. I just want to know like what I think first, and that's a
Mhm.
13. So I don't.
A 13? Okay. I would say, especially given what you have observed so far with dying angels, it seems like when creatures from another plane die here, or they seem to go back to the realm from which they came from, but perhaps they need a little bit of assistance getting unstuck from this realm in order to make that transition.
I see.
So Reyes seems to be floating about doing something similar to the demons as you were able to do for Serene with your Cure Wounds spell. He also seems to be he's got a little notebook that he pulled out from somewhere, and he's writing down things in the notebook as he flits around doing that.
He did say he was there to, observe and report. So that makes sense. I'm fine with that.
All right. So he's going to do that as you all head off to the northwest, if that's what you want to do.
Yep.
Yeah, I would also, as we go, like to check in on any of the angelic forms and see if we can, do a similar thing for any of them.
Sure. Reid-Quarrell, if you want, you can do a religion check on any angel to give it kind of last rites.
Sure, I will do that. How many of them are there here?
There's a bunch.
Well,
I'm going to say that there's a half dozen of them.
Okay, I'm going to do it for all of them, being my lawful cleric self.
Do you want to roll 60/20s and add your religion modifier to them?
Sure.
It's not going to be. It's pretty trivial for you, I think.
Okay, so that's a 19. Oops, that one's only 6.
What's your modifier, though?
Oh, that's with modifier.
Oh.
Yeah, the 6
that angel does not go gently into the night.
Yeah.
You know what, Reid? We'll say it's going to take you a while, but you do the work necessary to help each of these angels on to the wherever they go, and you gain inspiration from this act.
Okay.
There's now a variety of devil bodies, but an ever-increasing number of devil bodies around as Reyes flits between them. I'm also going to say anyone who hangs around knows there do seem to be, at least kind of based on style and maybe their garments or the general appearance, 2 types of devils among the sets of remains here.
Okay, would we need to do like an arcana to learn more?
You could try.
16?
You suspect that they might be from different areas of the 9 planes. Of the 9 hells. Other than that, you're not sure.
Okay.
You could always ask Reyes if you're curious. He might tell you.
And it might even be the truth.
Sorry, I played that on the bagpipes as we went. It's kind of hard.
All right. So you've taken some time. You've laid the angels to rest. Reyes is busy at work laying demons to rest, taking notes in his notebook, and you follow the trail of angel and demon blood to the northwest edge of the crater. Reyes seems to be kind of hanging back a little less. Before he was practically like in your group, following along. He seems to be a little bit more kind of keeping his distance this time.
Sure, that's totally fine.
Probably totally fine. Let me describe what you see in the northwest corner of the crater. in the northwest edge of the crater, you can see that there is just there's like a huge crack in the icy crater wall. And from that crack, there is a river of black water and streaming clouds of gray smoke flowing out. The river splits as it flows out from underneath the icy outcropping into a crevasse, separating the cracked wall from the floor of the crater by a good 20 feet of this river of black liquid. You can see, even in the kind of smoke, some kind of glyph that has been etched into the wall, kind of by the opening in the crater wall itself.
Is it the same glyph that we've been seeing?
Certainly similar in style.
Hmm.
Does that look okay on the map? Does that make sense? Sorry, I'm having a hard time. Oh, I think there was some stuff not hidden no, it's all good now.
Right, so everything's fine. This is the river.
This is ice.
And then there's an entrance over here, up here.
Yeah.
Is this what we're seeing?
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
There's like an icy triangle between the rivers.
How wide is the river?
20 feet.
Okay.
And can we tell what it is? Like you said, it's black stuff. Is it like demon blood?
Watch this. Dungeon Masters, watch this. One could tell what it is.
What would one need to roll in order to determine that?
I think a nature check.
All right, I will make a nature check, but I will also turn my head over my shoulder to Raise, wherever he's standing way back, and be like, Raise, do you know what this substance is here?
Raise kind of flaps over to all of you, having dealt with the demons.
And I got a 14 on my nature check.
I rolled a nature check and got 13.
Raise kind of looks at it. It's almost like he didn't notice what was going on this side of the crater until now. I wouldn't drink that. You study it. Reid-Quarrell, you rolled what'd you roll on your nature check?
14.
You get the sense that this water is toxic and polluted by necrotic energy.
Oh, I would recognize necrotic energy for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for sure.
I got a 0 on a nature check.
Nice.
Give me a straw.
Are you feeling thirsty?
I stopped Lee from drinking the water.
Man, how did you survive so long as a monk in the wilderness?
She's very trusting is the thing.
You're an air genasi. If you wanted somebody to identify water, you should have brought a water genasi.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Q and Thamia keep me out of trouble.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
How are we going to get over this?
More rope?
I ask Raise, would you be willing to shuttle us over to the other side of this river?
Raise raises an eyebrow and says, I would not.
Now, if we put a fox with us and then leave the chicken...
If you leave a devil and a bag of grass on one side of the... Uses it, Reid-Quarrell, it occurs to you that you've never come into physical contact with Raise before, and that, there might be some unintended side effects of that. Just saying. Yeah. Just saying.
I wouldn't necessarily know that. So
are there any points in this river that are narrower?
Yeah, there's some.
Like up here?
Yeah,
it is not uniform. There's also, Dan, wait for it, some points that are wider.
Oh.
How you like that?
Is there a way that we could pull some of the crystals and lay it down to have stepping stones in the river? Do you think of necrotic energy? I don't know.
The river is pretty far below you, I would say, because there's it's
So it's like a cave.
Yeah, in fact, I would say it's it's a crevasse. So yeah. There is a stream here.
Just a fancy crevice. Just
and then it and it vase. And there's little waterfalls that go down to. So it's you know what?
Okay.
Check this out. It's like a good 80-foot drop to the to the black liquid below.
That is a big drop.
This black liquid right here, before it tumbles into the crevasse, is much more conveniently located.
Okay. So how wide is this space right here?
Let's say 15 feet.
But we're still talking, is there still an 80-foot drop?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From one side to the other side?
No, down.
Okay,
It's 80 feet down.
Okay,
Okay.
right.
So we can go over, but we're gonna need a way to affix. If we're gonna use a rope, we need a way to affix the rope to the other
Or
side.
like, what? How
Might
far
I
can
suggest?
people jump?
I'm not jumping 20 feet.
I'm pretty strong, and I can only jump 14 feet.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
whatever your strength is.
If
that's
I
how far.
recall, Lee can levitate or levitate one of us.
But can they levitate themselves?
Yeah.
Or okay. Or
Well, so I was going to suggest, but if only one of us levitates, maybe someone levitates over there with a rope and
Gotcha.
secures it.
okay.
So that we have the rope secured on both sides,
So-
because I like a rope that's secured on both sides. I don't know. That's just me.
Very
maybe.
good point. So yeah, I mean, Lee and I have experience with levitation games, and I feel like I could be a very.
That is the worst John Grisham novel I've ever read.
I like the movie though, so I could be like a good base for it too if we can't find a place to tie it or secure the rope on the other side. And then zip line, because I'm guess is it like equal?
We're going to make a zip line before this adventure's over. It's all I'm saying.
Of course we are.
Yes. Because I mean, it's a little bit of a darker gray, so I'm in my mind, I'm assuming that it's like at a lower elevation, so we can zip line down.
Yeah, do we have to like zip down to the...
It is now zipline.
Okay.
All right,
Yes.
zip lineable.
Perfect.
Let's do it.
This is called providing you with your own petard and seeing if you choose to hoist it.
You don't hoist up a zip line, Tony, please.
Right?
Well, but in order to set up a zip line, you got to hoist something.
But we're at the
Levitate.
top right now, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless somebody's got a better idea, I think that might be our best option, because it seems like going down 80 feet is not really going to...
Not
Go
a
well.
good plan.
Yeah, unless there's like debris long enough to like make a bridge across. But
Does
Yeah.
not seem like the
Like,
especially
if it's
the
ice-
crystal structure
crystal and
is kind
ice
of,
seems
it's
like
kind of like-
dangerous.
I think there's anything we're going to be able to construct like a bridge over troubled waters, but I think we could probably
Yeah.
zip line.
and necrotic is like the most troubled of waters.
Yeah.
I believe that was what Simon and Garfunkel said, yes.
All right,
Oh.
so am I levitating Thamia? Is that what's happening here?
I think that seems like a decent
Yeah.
plan.
Give her a push.
All right.
Yeah,
Give me
kick her
a
out over
little bit
there.
more information. I don't think you technically have a plan yet. You have an idea.
We have an idea. Yes.
Yeah.
Thamia's
so
gonna
the
take
idea is
one-
levitate Thamia. Step
But
one.
get,
Step
but,
two.
all right, no. She's
With
gonna.
one end
We're
of the
gonna
rope.
hold. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
She's gonna get one end of the rope. We're gonna hold the other end of the rope and spool it out as she levitates.
All right. Lee, do you want to remind us how levitate works? Because I think there's some challenges for movement when you're levitating, right?
Well, I think we can just push her. So,
Okay. When does she stop moving?
When she reaches the ground.
when she reaches, yeah, like I can end the spell and she'll float down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gently.
Yeah, gently. So
So basically, Thamia can just launch herself off of this cliff. You cast levitate, and instead of her falling to her demise in the crevasse, she floats peacefully to the other side.
yeah,
All right, and she's holding a rope.
and she's holding
one
rope.
end.
And
One end of the rope.
One of you is holding the other end of the rope.
Correct.
Allegedly.
Possibly maybe several of us are all cooperating.
Everybody but me, says each player.
No, I'm helping.
All right. So, Thamia, you are on the other edge of the... Do you want to put your token where you end up?
I don't know. That purple circle kind of scares me a little bit.
I did put a symbol on the map where there is something... There's
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go in there anyways. So
I
Is
know.
that the glyph that you already
Go down.
told us about, though?
Yep, there's a glyph.
Yeah.
So maybe you just want to be like right over
Over
the
here.
edge so that we can zip line down,
Okay.
or back a little farther.
Yeah.
Wherever
that's
you wanna
probably-
go.
That's perfect. All right.
All right.
And then I'm gonna secure it into the ground in a way, or nah. I'll just hold it. I'll just like
Wrap it around your waist.
yeah,
you're strong.
like a tug of war.
Go. All right.
Base.
Yep.
Yep.
So you've got it wrapped around your waist,
Yep.
and the other end of it is still being held by the four
I
of you
think
there.
we're gonna secure it.
we have to
into,
secure it somewhere.
Yeah.
Reyes takes up kind of a location over where he feels like he has a good view of what's going on here.
Fair.
He seems to be perhaps laughing.
I look
softly
at
to
Reid-Quarrell
himself.
and say, I don't really like your friend.
Oh, We are not friends. We are acquaintances.
Okay.
We have
Helpful.
met previously and did not come to
Kill
blows.
each other.
Fair enough.
I'm interested to see what happens next.
Me too.
So we should secure this with like another, if we've got another like a piton or something like that we can like hammer into the ice, tie it around.
Okay.
It, and then zip down.
There's certainly no convenient tree here in this.
No.
Horrible
But there's
crater
crystal
filled with crystal and
Someone's
ice.
got an adventurer's kit, right?
Yeah, you've got more metal pins. So you have from one edge of the cliff. We'll say it's a gentle decline of it's like Thamia's maybe 10 feet down from all of you, so the rope goes from a metal spike that you have driven into the ground to where Thamia is holding it.
Excellent.
About 40 feet away, 10 feet lower, because it's like 20 feet across the thing, and then Thamia has given herself another 15, 20 feet of I don't know, room there.
Landing space.
Landing space.
Yep.
All right.
All right,
So
I'm ready.
what is the next part of this? And I hesitate to use this word.
Plan.
This word that you adventurers keep using, a plan.
So I think Thamia is going to tighten the rope so that we can just use a belt to zip line down and land, and she'll be there to soften the blow. My question, I turn to my friends and I say, my question is, do we want to leave behind this rope as well, and all of us zip down it, or do we want to...
Zipping down is way more fun than zipping it back off the zip line.
Mm-hmm.
Or unhook the rope and have the last person jump.
Getting back up seems challenging without a rope.
Right.
Yeah.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
Good point. All right. So whose rope is this? And that we are leaving
We
here?
can use mine. My lovely
does make
silken
sense.
rope.
Well, a
It'll be
silken
good
rope
for
would be
zipping.
easier to zip.
That's true.
Yeah.
Designed for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I paid extra for the zipline rope.
Once again, I will go last because I'll just sort of stand on the python in the just make sure that it's staying as stable as possible.
All right. So Thamia has gone first. Reid-Quarrell has declared that she will go last. Who will be the first zipline contestant?
I'm going to go, but I'm actually going to tightrope walk it.
All right.
No.
Lee,
You.
give me an acrobatics check with advantage.
24.
All right.
Nice.
You are expertly across.
Cartwheels.
There's a soft golf clap from Ray's.
10 from the devil judge.
All right. Just gonna put you over there.
Q will go over. He's going to use a belt from his spare outfit, just a leather belt. Put over.
All right.
Zip down.
It's important to use it from the spare outfit, not from your current
It's holding my
outfit.
sword up.
Yeah, like all your stuff.
Yeah,
starts
start
all your
down.
all of your. What you don't want to do is be halfway down a zip line and your bag of holding falls open.
All my change falls out of my pockets.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Your
All right.
bagpipes.
Give me an that would be horrible if we lost your bagpipes here.
My bagpipes.
Quick acrobatics check with advantage. Quewaris.
Advantage, he says.
A bard.
18.
All right, Quewaris, you are safely on the other side of the crevasse.
Oh, friends.
Hooray!
Chomasa, I think you are next.
I'm
How
next.
acrobatic are you?
I'm
as a
pretty. I
dragon?
have +4, so
Oh, that's solid. With advantage.
that's a good thing because I needed it. 22.
No problem. Expertly. Do you want to tell us how you get over there? Why is there more than one rope now? What's going on?
There was an error. It's fine.
No.
Don't look too closely at the extra rope.
I am also using a spare. It just disappeared.
Mhm.
I also am
Now they're
using a
both
spare
gone.
belt. And because it's silken.
There's rope hijinks happening on the map. Every time the master.
This is
favorite part of the
why
adventure.
Tony doesn't let us.
Why are there 3?
Oh,
Everything's
well, that's
fine.
happening.
Red.
I glide smoothly down. Zoom.
All right, you glide smoothly down, land confidently next to Thamia.
All right. I suppose it's my turn. Not very good at acrobatics.
Do we need Lee ready for a levitate?
I can't.
Do you want to tie
that's
yourself to the
right.
rope? Are there any safety precautions that you would like to take, Reid-Quarrell, before you do this? You tie yourself to the rope, tie yourself to the Crystal Palace, tie yourself to Ray's.
I think tying myself to my belt is actually the best way to go. Like, take the two sides of it around the rope, then tie that to my wrists. So even if I don't know, I feel like I'm strong. I'm very strong, so I should be strong enough to just hold on. But better safe than sorry. Yeah. Tie myself to the belt, which is then tied shut. And that's a 10 and an 11, so that comes to a 12.
All right, a 12 is good enough. Your landing is kind of sloppy. You kind of end up upside down in a heap, more or less colliding with things.
I got you. It's okay.
Black robe everywhere.
To be fair,
you're still,
your pog has been
now
upside down for like the last hour. Kind of hilarious.
And you have at this point, you've tied yourself to the zip line that Thamia is holding. So
I untie myself from my belt.
But you've made it. You now stand on the other side of the crevasse at the entrance to the huge crack in the side of the crater. Crater, crevasse, crack. It's great. You know what's going to be inside there?
Crack.
Crack will be in there, maybe. For now, Ray's just seems to be hanging out on the edge of the crevasse on the other side of the river.
Thanks for nothing.
Watching you. There is a large, intimidating sigil glyph carved into the wall by the entrance to the.
Is the glyph any sort of writing, or is it like a symbol?
Isn't a glyph inherently?
Well, yeah, but it could. I mean, so for example, I picked up that stone. That lets me read Celestial. Mm-hmm. Does it look any different to me now that I have that stone?
Oh. You know what? I will tell you, you have advantage when you try and decipher this with Arcana. Anyone else can do that too. They may not have it. They're not going to have
I will
advantage.
put on the circlet, and then I will attempt this.
Smart.
Oh.
I got a 15 to Arcana.
Let's see how I can 6. Do when I got that. Man, still not great. 16 is the best I got.
You know what? It looks like, I'm going to say that this is... it's probably the celestial version of it, but it may be something that some of you are familiar with before. This seems to be a powerful glyph of warding.
Ooh. Yeah.
Quewaris, do you want to explain what a glyph of warding is in your Intelligence 19 voice?
Well, a glyph of warding is a magical construction created in which one stores a spell in a mystical glyph that would then be triggered by some action such as touching the glyph. This could be, in its most basic form, an explosion, for example, but it may also trigger other results depending on what spell they've used to create this particular glyph. But it can perhaps be deactivated with some successful knowledge of Arcana.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I know. Very interesting, I agree.
I wish we had thought of that before we came down here.
It's all right. We're close. We could still attempt it from here.
I am not good at Arcana.
I feel like I want to start climbing back up the rope, but I won't. I will, however, scooch back to the edge of the...
I rolled a 1, so I am not doing any sort of relation check on there, but it's not a 0 because I'm just at 0.
Yeah, my Arcana check was like a 6 or 7, so I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on.
Does anyone have
Tony,
good Arcana?
Do we have an idea of what this will... Can it be deactivated?
Let's see. You can use an Arcana check to detect and disable magical traps like a glyph of warding.
Okay. Can I attempt, or someone else? I don't know.
I mean, Arcana is intelligence-based, so...
Yeah, I got a 6
and the fancy hat.
with my hat on.
Yeah, we are rolling so well.
Yeah,
we're rolling terribly.
You could potentially send one person in to trigger it. You could do a lot of things.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
How about
what is Ray's doing?
Let's send him.
Do we want to do if someone takes the help action? I think that would give us advantage on attempting to disable it.
Yeah, I can do that.
So if Lee wants to assist me, I will attempt an Arcana to disable it.
Okay.
Does that seem amenable, Dungeon Tony?
Yeah, you can try.
Okay. Do I have any other ways to
You
boost
can do it.
this? I'm trying to think if I have any other ways to boost this. Not without giving myself inspiration.
Can
which
you
seems silly.
give bardic inspiration to yourself? Does that work for?
I've only got one left. I feel like holding on to it's probably a good idea.
Honestly, Quewaris doesn't really care for his own music.
It's not popular stuff.
That's right.
Mm.
Here we go.
Pandering.
24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
Quewaris, you spend some time studying it while wearing your
Yes. Very clever. I see what they did here, but no matter.
circlet of intellect. You strum a few chords carefully on your bagpipe.
Totally how they work.
And the circlet of the glyph of warding is no more. You think that you can safely pass through this area without taking 5d8 necrotic damage.
I have a question. Quewaris, do you think that glyph of warding was placed by a celestial creature or a devil?
That
Based
is
on
a
its-
fascinating question, and if we examine the etymology of the glyphs written in the symbol, I think we can find the answer. Can we?
Hey, you're gonna roll something for
Yeah,
that
what do you-
there, Sparky?
We need
Just give me an intelligence check.
intelligence.
You feel fairly confident that it was devilish in nature.
One
From the, like, the
traces the
backstrokes on
root of the words used in the warding, and to come from the demonic and devilish warach, which is clearly
Of
not
course.
from the angel origin.
Was that in Primordial?
That was
I
the-
think-
it was a primordial pronunciation. You see, the transliteration uses the primordial glyphs in order to interpret the celestial. It's
He
fascinating.
just
when-
reaches out and takes the circlet off.
Oh my god! That thing's giving me a headache.
So I know Primordial. Could I read the glyph?
I also know primordial.
I don't know. I was BSing my way through that.
I don't know.
There is
enough
actually
about
a whole thing
primordial.
with languages and how some of them use the writing, the scripts
Yeah.
from other languages, but I don't remember enough of what that is.
Okay.
So primordial is the language of, guess what? Primordials and elementals. So it is different. It is different both from celestial and abyssal, and apparently is somewhat related to the giant language.
Oh, hey.
But yeah, which is also then the dwarven languages based on that. And we have already told you more about fantasy linguistics of stuff that doesn't exist than probably you want to know.
I mean,
but you can Google it.
We start.
I think the answer is I don't think there's any connection
Okay.
between primordial and celestial, other than they are things you don't see often day to day.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Shall we continue on?
Yep.
Let's.
Yes.
All right. You are going to head into the crevasse here at the site of a celestial palace that has hurtled down from the heavens, cracked open, unleashing the devils locked inside of it, and you are going to go into this horrible crevasse that is bleeding black water, polluted with necrotic energy.
Yep.
Sounds
Sounds
like
like
it.
This is
great.
what we are doing.
Yep.
All right. It takes you less than an hour to climb down through the cracked and horrible tunnels you haven't seen raised in a little while, and eventually you arrive at what can only be described as a summoning chamber. Arcing columns of shimmering ice along the walls give this large chamber an almost organic feel, like ribs supporting the petrified chest cavity of some huge beast. A red glow shines off razor-sharp stalactites hanging from the ceiling, revealing 6 angelic creatures that have been impaled on ice spikes or nailed to the wall with shards of their own shattered palace. Their quicksilver blood flows down into the intricate patterns of a summoning circle, scribed into the ice of the floor.
Uh-oh.
The liquid flaring blood red as it meets the circle's fiendish magic. A horrible purple-skinned figure with a beard of thick black tentacles kneels before the circle. It's not aware of you yet, but the terrible chanting that issues from its lips haunt your dreams. Skulking around the corners of this chamber are several other twisted fiends that do seem to be moving in your general direction.
Oh boy.
How's that?
Wow.
So you can see there's 6 angels, or the bluish things, that have basically set up around the circle. There's a horrible purple demon in the middle. There's 3 kind of slightly less intimidating demons skulking around the edges in yellow and red. As you look at this, don't do that. As you,
Earthquake!
no, it's going to get better. As you look at this horrible sight before you, you've probably seen nothing quite like this. It's almost like reality itself, that you have this like feeling of pressure, and you have that like you have to like blink it out of your mind, like the image of a giant red
More hands.
6-fingered hand just kind of pushing against like the edge of reality, trying to make its way into this plane. And then you like snap your head again and it's gone. Several lesser demons are skulking their way toward you.
You said it was a
Perhaps you want
six-fingered
to
hand?
roll. Yeah, I did.
Like the statue?
Been looking, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dan.
Are we
You killed
rolling
my
initiative?
father.
Is that what's happening?
They are. It's up to you.
Can I just
Sure,
go?
let's.
Can we go? Yeah.
I got a plan.
Plan is a strong word that you people keep using.
It worked.
I feel like our plan to do the zipline thing worked exactly as we
Yeah.
planned.
This is a secret. Is the Dungeon Master just ridicule your plans?
Regardless of what it is.
Regardless of what it is.
Dan has figured out how. I mean, there's like I've got 4 tricks and I use them all over and over again.
You're like one PHP function.
Ouch. Let's see.
Shuffle those cards.
I was like,
They only work if I use them randomly.
I have a question about the patterns in the ice that all the blood is in.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that there is something about the shape of that pattern that is very important to this? And if we melted part of the ice around there, that it might screw with what they're trying to do?
I think there's probably a variety of things you could do when not in the heat of combat to,
Right.
unsanctify and undo the bad things that are happening.
Yeah, I was just thinking if just, pure heat from fire or
Yeah.
something would
fire
be enough.
breath.
I got an idea. I think we'll at least delay this.
Is everybody in the initiative order?
I think so.
Yes.
Oh, no.
All right, let me just run through here. I see Quewaris at 22, Reid-Quarrell at 20, Chomasa at 19. Wow, you all rolled really well. Lee at 18, Crack, the devil who seeks to open forth a passageway just to, for his boss. Just he's got him for a promotion. 16, Thamia also at 16. Thamia, what's your dex modifier?
My dex modifier is +1.
Crack goes before you.
Okay.
And at the very end is the demons that seem to be serving, or sorry, they're devils. Can't use those words interchangeably. That seem to be serving Krek and protecting him while he is carrying out this strange ritual. These are specifically, I don't know how you pronounce it, lemures?
They're French.
Lemure.
Lemure.
They are.
Enchanté.
I think they're
c'est
not
nice.
very high up in the devil hierarchy. They kind of look like a here I should see. They look like somebody was doing claymation and also a lot of acid.
It's the only way to do claymation.
Sounds like Saturday night. Yeah.
Yeah. Sunday night.
Sunday
day. Afternoon.
Early evening on Sundays.
Why constrain it by time?
I know, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. That is a great description.
Did they all try out for the part of Clayface on Batman the Animated Series? Is that what happened?
And none of them made it.
None of them made it. Very sad.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So there are 3 devils kind of blocking your path here. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Quewaris, you are first.
Quewaris utters a few words of a spell, and that's going to cover, let's see here, I think about this distance or so. And in that 20-foot radius sphere, centered on essentially the middle of the summoning circle, more or less, silence falls.
You did this before.
I know, and it worked. Last time it worked poorly the first time because then that dude exploded. But
right.
This time,
but it did end up being
the sphere.
It ended up being an alternative secondary bonus because it's still covered where he was hiding. So
exactly. So I'm going to drop a sphere of silence right on top of where that demon is, which essentially covers, I think, because it's 20 foot in radius, pretty much that entire sigil. So, cool. Yeah, that was my action.
All right.
Good action.
Yeah, I'm hoping that helps maybe slow it down a little bit. And then I think that's going to be it for me this time. But we'll start with that.
All right. You cast silence on the ritual. The chamber is suddenly quiet as Krek is no longer. His mouth continues to move like he's trying to chant, but there is no chanting echoing throughout the summoning chamber. His eyes flip open and lock on Quewaris far across the chamber, and he looks like he is displeased at you, Quewaris. Reid-Quarrell, you're next.
All right, so around the circle, there are a whole bunch of dead/dying angelic creatures impaled. Now, I spent a lot of time outside the Crash Palace sending a whole bunch of celestial creatures onto the celestial plane, so I've got some practice with that. Do I think that is a possibility here, and what would I need to do to make that happen? Or is this special because they're already part of a ritual?
They are currently part of a ritual in which it seems like, I think you could surmise that their life source is being used as fuel as part of some kind of summoning circle. So, though it's possible that you could try and take them out of that ritual, it's also possible that you could end up helping the ritual. You could try. It would certainly be very challenging to do that in combat. And the results might be unexpected, but you can absolutely try.
How tall are these spires that they're on?
Not super tall.
Stalagmites.
Yeah, not super tall.
Wait, stalagmites? Stalactites?
Which stalagmites
are from the ground.
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, they could be impaled.
Might stick out of the ground, but they don't.
So
they're impaled on the ground, or they are impaled on the ceiling?
Ground.
Okay.
Some of them are on the ground, some of them are just nailed to the side of the wall with a bunch of shards of crystal.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right.
It probably you could not physically get to any of them without getting past the 3 lesser devils.
Right. Well, I mean, I could get to here, but then they could screw with me while I was trying to, and I don't have a great armor class.
And how?
So instead, I'm reaching into my knowledge of what I know about devils, and wondering if I know anything about necrotic damage in terms of are they immune or resistant to necrotic damage. And I don't know, is there a role for that, or is that something I would know since I've
I think you would just know that the only thing that tends to be resistant to necrotic damage is the undead, and devils are not the undead.
Okay. All right. Then I think I am just going to point at Crack. And, my hand coming out of my cloak with my holy symbol, and point down to him and say, today is your day.
It's my day.
And roll a 1.
Oh no!
So I'm going to say that the spectral hand doesn't even appear.
Oh no!
Misfire.
But I look really intimidating doing it. It just
Didn't
literally
do anything.
nothing happens.
All right. Chomasa, what will you do?
I am going to use a bonus action and mark. You put the hunter's mark on Krek. Let's say, put it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, let's put it on the devil sitting right in front of me.
Okay.
Because I can move it. So that until the spell ends, I can deal an extra d6 of damage to the target whenever I hit it with a weapon attack. And then I am going to take a step forward, which could be a bad decision. But I have a magic sword for now, and I am going to roll a 11.
11 hits this lesser demon, this Lemure.
And that's 7 points of damage.
You cleave off one side of its horrible clay ooze-like body. It looks peeved.
And that is all.
All right. Lee.
Okay. I am just trying to figure out. Okay. All right. So.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I'm going to step forward just a little bit. Like, I don't want to get too terribly close. I'm going to reach into my pocket. I'm going to pull out a wand of magic missiles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you are.
I am going to aim it at Crack.
You guys are just, you feel like the rose thorn gets like an asterisk rating for how much all of his equipment was used today.
Yep.
Good job, Rose Thorn. And it has 7 charges. I'm going to use all 7.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Smoke him if you got him.
Wow. All right.
So I'm not sure. Okay. The wand has 7 charges. While holding it, you can use the action to expend 1 or more of its charges to cast magic missile. For 1 charge, you cast the first level version of the spell. You can increase the spell slot level by 1 for each additional charge you expend. So if I were doing, would that be a 7th level?
Yep.
Okay. So then I need to come over here to magic missile.
So you would get, it would normally be 3, but you're casting it like an extra 6 levels, so it's 9 magic darts.
Okay. And they're 1d4 each, right?
Plus 1.
1d4 plus 1 each.
Yeah.
Okay. So
94.
94. That is a lot.
94?
5, 6, 7, 8, 94 plus 9, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
That made an amazing sound in D&D Beyond. Okay, so that is 38 points of damage total.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
And then I just, I've got to roll a
3d8.
d20 to see if it gets...
Yeah, it may crumble.
Don't get a 1. Don't get a 1. Don't get a 1. Got an 18.
Yeah.
So I just
All right.
stow it back in my pocket.
Nice.
Yeah, it's no more good today. Crack is pissed. Wow. Yeah, that's not good for Crack.
Oh, darn.
Wow. And you literally you did not care what are his defenses. You did not ask me anything about it. You did not
Turnabout's fair play, Tony.
He just
Turnabout's
took 38
fair
damage.
frickin' play.
All right. All right, we can roll with this.
I'm sorry.
No,
Don't
do not apologize.
That was amazing.
Lee, are you done?
I'm done. Yeah.
You made
All
Tony
right.
sad. That means we win.
Great.
No.
Let's not correlate
this
those
is
two
gonna be
quite.
Yeah.
Close.
Krek picks up next to him. He's got this huge glaive, and the blade seems to kind of crackle with icy shadows. And Krek is just going to launch himself past Thamia and Chromos. He just kind of leaps. He lands, I guess, right next to. He lands kind of between Thamia and Lee, and
Do they
but
get
his target.
opportunity attacks, Chomasa?
I don't think so. I think the cavern's big
You have
enough.
to leave their reach in order to get an opportunity attack.
Yeah,
Oh, right. Well, he left Chomasa's reach, so.
I think he did not enter Chomasa's reach. So Krek, as his mouth is just open, and there's basically, as soon as he passes through the edge of the silence spell, we realize that he was roaring with a scream, and he lands on the ground with a stomp between Thamia and Lee, and he is going to try and murder Lee. Lee, who has emptied a wand of magic missiles into him. Lee, who has interrupted his important summoning ritual, and he gives a nod to Quewaris. He's coming for you next. All right. So, Lee, this is going to be interesting. Mm-hmm. He is going to use a glaive attack. He is using his soul hewer glaive. Do you have a soul?
I theoretically, I don't know.
For
That's
now.
a really philosophical question.
Yeah.
For now. All right. Glaive attack. That could have been better. 16 to hit. Nope, sorry. 15 to hit.
Nope.
All right, he slices through the air near you. You dodge out of the way. As you are dodging, Krek has this thick, horrible kind of writhing blade of he has a blade. He also has a thick, writhing beard of tentacles, and the beard seems to kind of lash out at you, Lee, with these barbed tentacles.
Okay.
That is also 15 to hit, so I suspect still misses.
Still misses, yeah.
All right. The kind of snake-like tentacles kind of like slice in the direction of your face, but are unsuccessful. Krek looks furious that he is not hit. Thamia, you are next.
I'm really appreciative that he came so close to me, because
Really saved you a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I didn't have to move. I just have to sit here, blow lucky dice. Come on, let's hit him with my hammer. I rolled an 18 plus 5, so 23. No, yeah, 23 to hit. Guessing that hits.
It does hit.
And I need to make sure I pick up the correct dice. I really need to get some more dice so that I can color code them.
Yeah.
So I don't have to count.
More dice is always the right
sides.
answer.
It's true. All right. 2 plus 3 is 5 points.
5 damage?
Yes. And then
I will also tell you, unfortunately, you do 5 damage to Krek. You get the sense, I believe your weapons are not magical?
Well, she did put
yeah.
blood on there with her own hands.
yes.
You get the sense that your weapons are not as effective as they might be against other creatures, against this devil.
Wait, is that... Hold on. Unarmed strikes are considered magical. So if I was to sheath my secondary axe,
or just drop it,
or just drop it, yeah.
You're just gonna try and punch Krek instead of.
So I would like to empower my tattoo.
Mm-hmm. This is the time.
Yes. Which. Oh wait, no, I don't have to empower it necessarily to make this happen. While the tattoo is on my skin, your unarmed strikes are considered magical for the purpose of overcoming immunity and resistance to non-magical attacks.
Yeah.
And
so your hand axe is not, but your hand
but
is.
my hand is.
It's all about hands.
Right. It's hands all the way down. I think that's the title for this episode. Except why can't I switch over to see what I need to roll? Or, I mean, clearly. Okay. So +6. Or, well, plus... Okay, I'm going to roll first and then do math later. Okay, so I rolled an 11. +6 is 17. But I wish there was a way... It's fine. Plus...
17 hits.
Yes. Okay. 17. And then damage, it just says 5 damage. I don't roll anything.
It's just... Really? For a punch, it's just 5 when you get hit
For
by
an unarmed strike, it says just 5.
All right. Krek is not looking good. He is staggering on his feet already. You have delivered a devastating attack here. And, this is probably, well, I guess you've met Rays, but only the second devil you've ever met. And clearly Krek is more martial and menacing than Rays. But, emptying a wand of magic missiles and punching him with your magic fist is not going well for him.
Well, and since I'm guessing that I could hear the anguish in his hit, I'd like to do an action surge and go ahead and do an additional action with my magic fist.
Nice.
And do some more damage because I can.
All right.
I rolled an 11 plus 6 is 17.
17.
Yes.
Hits.
Okay. So 5.
You're just punching him again?
I'm just punching him again.
That is doing more damage than your sword.
Yep.
It's just punching the demon in the face. Sorry.
Pew, pew.
Punching the devil in his face.
Yes.
Yep. Thamia, you all set?
Yes, that's it.
All right. The lesser devils crowd around Chomasa, sliding forward on their horrible clay pseudopods. They are all going to try and hit you. I rolled horribly.
Yay!
Chomasa, let me just check. This is academic, but how do you feel about 5 versus your armor class?
5 is okay.
About 7 versus
still
your
okay.
armor class. How do you feel about my highest number? 14.
14 hits.
You will take 4 bludgeoning damage as one of their clay-like fists just pummels you in the ribs. Quewaris, a bard, you are next. The devil is on the ropes, but his minions are crowding around your friend Chomasa the Dragonborn Ranger.
Let's see if I can give her a little space. Quewaris deals his deck of cards.
Oh no!
Throws
Big money.
Card over, basically right next to sort of Thamia and these creatures, and hopefully we end up with... It is a 7 of clubs. What does that mean, you ask? Well, let me tell you. A 7 of clubs. Oh, this one's not on the list. I guess I realized it's not. Every card is represented, so let's just throw that one out. Oh. Let's try that again. 3 of diamonds. Also not a thing. I did this badly. Sorry, I didn't realize they all didn't use every card. I'm just gonna go till I get to one. That's actually a thing. Yay! 8 of diamonds. A knoll appears in this spot.
How annulling.
Tony.
I don't know what that means.
Erica.
It growls and launches, basically threatens, menaces at them as a knoll.
We got a puppy.
Right. But it's still an illusion.
It is, but they don't know that.
All right. They don't know.
They'll have to make a check or at least attempt to find out otherwise.
All right.
Anybody, Chomasa, you took some damage?
Yeah, but only 4 points, so.
Did anybody else take any damage?
I'm good.
Not yet, knock on wood.
Yeah, let's.
Okay.
I think we're good.
I'll hold.
Save it for when Krek hits.
Then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Reid-Quarrell.
All right. Trying this again. Still staying in the same spot that I have been. Basically outside the cavern this whole time. Looking in at Krek, whom I can still see from where I am. I pull out my magic symbol, holding the scales of justice. Say,
holding hands.
Kellenvor be praised. Kellenvor be with me. And then I point at Krek and say, today is your day. And crit.
Nice.
Oh,
Yes!
It is his day.
Yeah, it is.
Or not.
All right. So let's see. Chill touch. I didn't roll great on the damage. It's only 6 necrotic damage.
So the skeletal hand appears, taps.
It's a
Crack
regular
on the
hand. It's a spectral, like ghostly hand.
Sorry, spectral hand. a lot of hand management in this game. The spectral hand appears, taps Crack on the shoulder. He turns from his target of enmity Lee to see Reid-Quarrell glaring down at him from the entrance to his summoning chamber, and the spectral hand kind of sweeps through him, and there is just a look of confusion on Crack's face as he collapses to the floor, stone dead. The 3 lemures who served him take this as an opportunity to just kind of turn into puddles and ooze away into the cracks and the crevasse. Raze is suddenly standing next to you, Reid-Quarrell, and says, "Very impressive. I'll be going now."
Yes, it was.
You weren't even aware he was there.
I would like to make a deception check to make it look like I knew he was there all along. That was only a 7, but I'm trying really hard to look tough.
Ray says, "My work here is done." And there's a
What did you do?
This non-work.
There's
My
a
work of
flaming
not doing
circle.
work is done.
Yeah.
There's a flaming circle as he steps back into through a portal into one of the hells. Reid-Quarrell, you get kind of just out of the kind of corner of your eye, just a quick glimpse of a land made of fire and lava and suffering, and probably try not to look too closely at it.
Oh, it's Phoenix.
It's
in the summer.
fascinating.
Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona. Canon. And he is gone.
Until next
you are
time.
now alone in a summoning circle chamber. There are 6 dying angels that you help pass on to the next realm. You have, through luck or unluckiness,
Amazingness.
defeated a devil, found yourself in a conflict between heaven and hell, and managed to, at least keep things on the smooth and narrow for now. And, good news. White Sparrow is not going to be on the front porch of hell, so that's something. You have defeated Krek. His ritual is stopped. The angels are laid to rest so they can return to whatever happens next to angels that die. That's kind of a above your pay grade kind of situation. And though there is not any gold to be had here, you do feel good about the work that you have done. And hey, Crack left behind his +1 glaive called Soul Hewer. Perhaps one of you wants to use that.
Ooh,
if not, you could sell it to a spooky pawn shop.
I'm interested.
You've done good work here today, people, whether you set out to do it or not. You have meddled in the affairs of angels and demons and come out all alive, which is honestly a miracle.
Barely even injured, in fact.
So all that's left to do is thank my players for playing this mini adventure that was a little on the mini side. First off, Erica Ensign, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I am excited about my new glaive.
Annette Wierstra, thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm just really excited that I got to, use all my fire resistance.
Yeah, that helped.
Always bring a dragon to a demon fight, apparently.
Yeah.
Aline Sims, always a pleasure. We didn't get to hear about your new slippers yet.
I know. I have these cool slippers. I can walk up walls. I can walk on the ceiling.
Oh.
No opportunity to use them.
I did think about it. Celestial Adventure is not big on ceilings.
Yeah.
Kathy Campbell, thanks for being here.
Thanks for letting Thamia, I guess, survive. To go further on, and maybe sometime I'll actually get to use my tattoos as opposed to just allowing the magical hands to kick butt.
Yep. And last but not least, Dan Morin, thanks for being here.
Quewaris is determines that this perhaps is a good time for him to retire, to travel the country, telling the glories of his friends and the town of White Sparrow to anyone who will listen to his wonderful songs.
What tales?
What tales to be told?
Listeners, thanks for listening. We'll be back with more Dungeons & Dragons
Bye,
sooner
friends.
rather than later. Bye.